guys, welcome back. We have a special day for us today. We are not playing our Roman characters. We are, for this evening, delving into the lives of some Carthaginians. A brief little snapshot. I'm going to introduce you guys on the order I have you in my screen. We have Danelle the priest, played by our loving Nosferatu Sybil. Gisco the wrestler, played by our foot spy Laviena. We have our Hyaton the priest, played by our Setite priestess Hatshepsut, and Elisa the merchant, played by our benevolent Soviet premier Albina favorite La Sombra priestess. Unfortunately, Nicodemus could not join us tonight, so that's where we're at. Have you guys all had the chance to read the information that I sent you?
I read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the setup, you guys are a coterie that's worked together for quite some time, off and on. You know each other pretty well. They have asked you in a sort of emergency situation to discover which of these two ships has a spy on it. They're pretty certain at least one of them does, but they can't decide which one. For diplomatic purposes, they cannot detain either one without proof. You have essentially any resources you need. Soldiers, money, whatever you need to get the job done.
This is a pull out all the stops to finance everything they need to do.
If you need bribe money, it's there. If you need soldiers, they're there.
We took everything we could from the Nosferatu, right? There's nothing more.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's precisely for this reason that they didn't give him too much, so they couldn't torture it out of him.
Okay. Let's see.
Alright. Do we have any information on where exactly the two are right now?
On their ships.
Okay, that's gonna make things a bit more complicated then.
Okay, my acolyte friends, I think we just have to wait in the Pearl till this spy goes there to contact with the Nosferatu, which we have captured. Maybe that will be the easiest and the fastest way to see who's this heretic is.
From what I understand, the meeting has already occurred.
Did it?
Has it good?
Possibly, but if not, then there's not much time left. It's a gamble. You could sit in a tavern for 4 hours and nothing could happen.
I suggest, while it might be good to have some eyes in there, I think we're gonna need to try and examine the ships. Perhaps we could find some sort of correspondences, theoretically. This would probably be much easier if our dear friend Urumilki was not indisposed, but we'll have to make do.
Out of curiosity, would there be some form of way to delay the depart? Like, would we be able to invite or to suspect to perhaps some form of celebration, ask that they could not politely refuse?
Unfortunately, no. They are bound and determined they're out of here in about 3.5 to 4 hours.
Can we possibly lock down the harbor for a hour or something extra, like.
That's gonna inconvenience too much. That would inconvenience everything.
Exactly.
All right.
Well,
All right. Danelle, how have you been in honing your arts of obfuscate?
Of course, I think hiding from the masses is not a delicate power, but I have a little bit proficiency in it, enough to cover myself from the eyes and make the sound a little less dangerous, but nothing more. The advanced powers like looking as a child or something is not in my possession.
Well, it's better than nothing.
But I'm not a fighter, sneaky one. That is not what I am meant to achieve.
leave that to me.
If nothing else, I can summon them and we can have an ambush.
I feel like that should be a last resort. If they feel a summoning, they may get suspicious.
They surely will.
Now, I should. It's a gamble, but I should be. If I'm careful, I should be able to sneak aboard one of the ships and avoid detection.
Why doesn't one of us just go to the Pearl and just ask around? See if anyone out of the ordinary or suspicious has entered the premises. Try and get as much information as we can there.
That could be worthwhile. Yes. Okay. I suggest I will. Let's see. I will attempt to examine. I will attempt to examine Jamaria's ship. If one of you could investigate the Pearl, and perhaps one of you examine Sibel's ship, if you can, through whatever means at your disposal.
Kaibil.
Kaibil, sorry.
Okay. I think I should come with whoever is going to peer the Pearl. I think I will be more useful there than going to the ship.
Alyssa, perhaps you could be claimed to be asking about making some arrangements with others in Tyre.
Yes.
And that you wouldn't have to explicitly hide yourself, and could instead just go in freely. But regardless, I think this is our best possible course. So, let's go.
Okay. May the Mother's blessing follow us to success.
Onward.
All right. Hayatin, let's start with you.
Okay.
So, I'm going over to the area that Jamaria, however the fuck you pronounce its ship, is
Gamaria.
Gamaria.
Yeah.
I'm heading over to wherever Gamaria's ship is docked. What's it look like in terms of security?
Just a couple sailors, making sure that nobody boards the ship. There's a couple of last second things going on. The usual, repairing some ropes, net tying, things like that. But it's dark, and for the most part, they're just getting ready for the tide conditions to be right.
All right. How? Okay. So they're presumably the two sailors guarding are at some kind of gangplank or whatever. Would you need to talk to them to get in? Is there theoretically a wide enough gap that if you weren't noticed?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from talking to them, but you could easily sneak past them with obfuscate.
Yeah. Let's keep things simple for now. Obfuscate first.
Okay. You obfuscate and walk right past them.
And I'm keeping a keen eye out for Gramaria. If I get even a hint of his presence, ducking into cover.
Okay, well, nobody seems to be paying any attention to you. There's a small set of steps that go down and then turns a little corner, and presumably one of those leads to the captain's cabin and one leads to Gamaria's cabin, and then a shorter area that leads to the hold.
All right. Going to. Now that I'm on board, I'm going to quickly glance over to the sailors that are packing up, and I'm going to make a note of their garb and try and use Obfuscate 3 to make myself look like I could be a sailor, not a specific one, necessarily.
Okay. That's I believe, manipulation plus performance, but let me check that really quick.
Yeah, manipulation performance, diff 7.
Yep, go ahead and make that roll.
Ten die. 1,000 dice.
Success.
1. It's enough to kind of blur the clothing. You look exactly like you. But your clothing, maybe you can cover up a little bit of tattoos.
Yeah. Well, it'll have to do for now. I'm going to head down as soon as I reach the, bit where the path splits. Just glance, see if anyone's there, and, assuming not, well, this is a bit of a long shot, but do either of the doors have anything different about them?
Yes, the captain's door is kind of ornate. It's got some engravings and stuff on it to indicate a little bit of wealth, experience, things like that.
So,
and that's pretty common. It's pretty common. You would know that.
Presumably the other door leads to Gamaria's room.
Correct.
I am going to... Are there any cracks in the door? This is important, actually.
Actually, the captain's door is pretty well sealed. He's got documents and stuff in there that need to be able to withstand, keep any water out.
Yeah. Gamaria's room, though.
Gamaria's room is not as well sealed.
I'm going to try and peer through as much as I can, see if anyone is in there.
Perception plus alertness roll at difficulty 6, sight-based. Auspex modifies as appropriate.
And this is homebrew Auspex rule still, right?
Yeah, still only one difficulty easier. 3 successes, yes, there is a light, very dim light that you can see coming through a couple of minor cracks, and it occasionally blinks out, flickers. Probably somebody pacing or something in there.
Alright, so I need to find a way to lure... I'll need a way to lure him out first. Perhaps cut to the others for a bit?
Okay. Danelle, what were you doing?
If anybody else wants to, or not.
Okay.
then
Gisco
I will-
or Elisa?
Yes.
Oh, I thought Elisa was doing the other ship.
Yes, the one of Cybele.
Okay, let's go to Elisa then. Elisa, what are you doing?
Well, she's going to try to get in contact with the captain of the ship.
Okay, one of the sailors can get him. He is, of course, awake. He's got to lead the ship out of the harbor. So you go up the gangplank. One of the sailors, asks you to wait right there. He goes to get him. Captain comes up. Perception plus medicine. It's going to be difficulty 6 if you have it. All right.
No, I do not. But
That's
I do
okay.
have a specialization in perception, insight.
He does not look well.
Do we have specialties?
He looks like he's in pain. Maybe a little bit drunk as well.
Yes. She's going to attempt to look concerned and say, "Are you alright?" Then she's going to approach him, try to get a closer look, maybe using her auspex if necessary for heightened senses.
It's no, it's nothing. It's my back, and he like puts his hand on his kidneys. It's okay. It'll pass. It always does. Can I help you? Is there something you needed?
Well, I hear that you are going to tire. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it is. We're got ourselves a load of silks and spices, and stand to make quite a bit of money. Do you need passage? We have a little bit of room. You can pay for passage.
Not passage for myself, no, but I do need some transport for some goods that I...
Well, we have a little bit of room left. We could work something out.
Could I perhaps see what you have available for your room so that I know how much I should...
He waves to one of the sailors. They take a little lighted candle. Together, a couple of them pull up the grating on the deck, and you can look down in the hold and see that there's some wine, a morphe, some crates and stuff down in there. There's some room. It's not a heck of a lot of room, but there's some.
She's going to start talking about how much... He mentioned that he had silk with him.
How much silk he has with him?
Yes.
Oh, well, that crate there and that crate there. It's got some plain undyed silk. Of course, Tyre is the city of purple. We're going to get it dyed and bring it back. Then we hope that the money from that will more than cover all of our expenses. Everything else is going to be pure profit.
She's going to try to convince him to sell the undyed silk to her for above market price.
if you're gonna pay for it enough for us that to cover the profit we would have thought, I can sell it to you, and then I don't have very much time, but I might be able to, in an hour or two we got left, might be able to whip up a little bit of extra cargo. So let's start the bidding. I'm guesstimating it's going to cost, let's see, and he starts doing some mental math. Oh, God, my kidneys hurt so much. Oh, he looks like he's going to throw up. 15 gold pieces.
Should I roll my commerce?
Yeah, manipulation plus commerce.
Persuasion in persuasive for manipulation and fabric for.
All right. You're definitely going to be able to argue him down some. He's not a lot, but you are going to be able to argue him down.
She's not trying to get a good deal. She's trying to keep him talking.
Okay. Oh, so you're just keeping the negotiation going. Yeah, you can do that. With that roll, even though he got 1, 2, 3, 4, you got 7, so yeah, you can keep him distracted for a while.
Could during the negotiation she try to pull some information out of him about what he knows about
Okay.
try to point out another the negotiation, try to change the subject subtly, stuff like that.
Yeah, you keep you go back and forth. The cost of transport, and you got to load it and unload it, and you just keep on arguing and arguing, and then you start slipping in a couple of conversational gambits there. And you mention her name, and he goes, "Who? Who are you talking about?"
Oh, I thought you had taken some passages already.
Oh yeah, we did. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting that she's on board. Woman just comes and goes like a ghost, man.
Must not be a very remarkable person if you need such little of an
Well, I really don't know much about her. Oh, I can say that it always sounds like flies in her room for some reason.
How weird.
Yeah.
Perhaps she's sick. That might have been the cause of your own condition.
Oh, I mean, she doesn't bother us, so. Well, she's all paid up, and she keeps to herself. Hey, that's better than most guests. Most guests can't stand the rocking of the ship. You know what I mean?
Yes. Do you think perhaps she would take issue if some of her room is to store some extra materials?
If we use whose room?
The room of your guest.
Oh shit! That's right. I forgot she was on board again. God. Yeah, she'd probably be pretty mad, man. She paid for her room, so that's hers.
Perhaps I could cover some of her costs.
I don't know. You'd have to ask her if she's willing. Pay her, and see if she's willing to give up some room. But once I've taken her gold, man, I promised her that she'd have that amount of space, and that's what she gets.
Is she in her room right now?
I think so. If you go down the steps there and you hang a right, if you hang a left, it's my door. Don't let me catch you in there. If you hang a right, it's hers.
Thank you for the information. That she's just going to say, yes, I'll take the deal that you offer to. I believe we can begin unloading the ship. I will be back in 1 hour to inspect the operations with your money.
All right. You head downstairs. Or you head off ship.
Yes.
Off ship.
Yeah. She,
Okay.
When as she's leaving the ship, she looks over to the captain and says, "Are you sure that you do not require any assistance with your problem? I know some good doctors, and it would be not just a minor inconvenience to bring you to them."
No. We have to get going here as soon as the tide comes in. So
I'm going to try to use my I'm going to try to use my dumb.
okay, you focus on him and you dominate him, and you see that it should have worked. It's obviously not him. It actually, you can actually see the willpower battle on his face as he starts to say something. Then he stops and he goes, "I'm sorry, I can't leave. We have to be going as soon as the tide comes in. So I'm just gonna have to pass unless you can bring him on board."
Very well, then.
He walks back to his cabin, still holding his back, starts issuing orders to sailors to start breaking those crates out and get them on board the deck.
A bit.
Maybe we should change this.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm going to change that real quick.
Halloween. The real Halloween is the server, Discord server.
Always.
It's full of ghosts.
It's possessed.
Okay, how's that, guys?
That's
Better.
All right. Danelle and Gisco, we're up to you guys.
Acolyte Gisco. I think we should go to the Pearl and see if this heretic will meet up with the Nosferatu, or at least will come there to meet up with the Nosferatu. But be careful, because this might be a trap.
Indeed. But let's see what we can find.
Yeah. Just do not approach directly. Stay in the shadows.
You guys get up there. It's easy to find. It's pretty big. About 3 stories tall. Crowded. There's ladies and men there. A big sign with a pearl, with a fish holding a pearl in its mouth. Bottom story is made of the limestone that is so prevalent all over Carthage. It's got wooden top floors. Looks plenty busy.
We'll see. I will be using Auspex 2 to read overall souls in the
right.
crowd.
Perception alertness, perception plus empathy, difficulty 8.
Right.
That's a book difficulty.
Perception, empathy. Here it is. Do I have empathy? Yes, I do. Okay. Difficulty 8.
Yes.
Okay. Did it? Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. The
Did you?
crowd itself is pretty much all human as far as you can tell. There's everyone there is having a decent time. Plenty of sailors in the port. Just regular people for the most part, going about the business of being in a restaurant, bar, brothel combination.
I understand. So there's no supernatural. Acolyte Gisco, I see no soul of kindred or any other supernatural creature. But then again, this person our Nosferatu who wanted to meet with could be a ghoul, a Cain. Just be careful
Hmm.
and watch your back all the time.
Always. So I'm. Let's see what I can find out from the mystery here. What are you going to do?
Who? Missed you?
I suppose it's the headmistress.
Okay. The head pimp or owner, whatever. All right. Yeah. Of course, they are obviously a rather mature man and woman team. You can tell everyone's going to one person, or it's actually a window, and arranging trysts for the night. The working girls are circulating through the floor, trying to pick up customers.
Just
Go ahead.
Just out of character, there are private booths.
It's rooms. Yeah. So it's like the ground floor is kind of open. People are eating and drinking, and the women are walking by and rubbing shoulders and sitting on their laps. Engaging in conversation and trying to convince them to come upstairs with them. And so the guy will go up to the booth and say, "Hey, I want Trixie over here, and I'm going to pay for an hour or the night or whatever." And they go up to the room and do what they do. So you go up to the booth, and where the person's taking appointments and taking the money. It's kind of a plump woman sitting there. She's like, "Ooh, you're a big boy. What can I do for you?"
Well, I'm just here from my place, hoping to see if I can take one of the girls. Have one of the girls for an hour. How much you charging?
Oh, well, it depends on the girl. Our best and most beautiful, most skilled, we charge 2 silver for the hour. However, if our older woman's, getting ready to retire, a little bit cheaper. Have you ever engaged in our services before? Have you ever been here?
Out of character, I'm just wondering if Gisco would be the kind of person who would have.
He probably doesn't have to pay for it very often.
That's good.
You can use your I'm vampire dominant thing over the person.
Or just, famous person.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, he's got a high appearance.
If anything, he'd usually have to pay people to leave him alone.
Yeah, that's true. Then Gisco kind of looks at her and, yeah, I've been here before.
Well,
I know how.
always pleased to get a return customer. Hey, so I'll tell you what's last couple of months what we've had come in the door. So if you've been here before, we don't beat up their face. You got to make sure you leave them useful. Don't break any bones. We have our older range of women here. You maybe have seen before. Trista and Kitty and Elaine over here. Elaine just gave birth, so she's back and ready on the floor. And we have Nancy and Mariska over here. Beautiful young ladies, fresh in. Get many compliments on them. and they do love their work, I must say. They come up and they're like, ooh, and they're rubbing your big biceps. Oh, such a strong man. Put their hands in your hair. Oh, pick me. Oh, hey, pick me, pick us both. Take us up with you. I guarantee we'll put those muscles to good use up there.
I was gonna say, I suppose at this point, Gisco would probably be tempted to take two of them up. I mean, more to question. If
Yeah.
anything. So Gisco kind of gives them both a once over and, oh yeah,
All right.
you two look like you could be good fun.
Yeah, pay up. They are making sure that you pay. And the two of them, one on each arm, walk you upstairs to a big room.
Why are you doing this? Why are you fiddling with woman?
I have my reasons.
They shove you in, and they, in the business they're in, quickly strip down.
Well, at this point, Gisco obviously kind of starts doing the same, but at the same time, he's just going to start talking to them as well. I'm like, so, how you going, ladies?
Oh, we're doing just great. I'm so much better now that you're here. I've been waiting for a real man to come in.
Well, I appreciate that. So tell me, I'm just curious to know, what about some of the activity here over the last few days. Has it been business as usual?
Yeah, Jetta's husband, Billy, he does a great job keeping the riffraff out. He had to throw this really one sailor out. He swore up and down that he was ship's captain and he'd make sure none of his sailors came in, but he always makes sure that they treat us good.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. So, have you seen any unusual types coming in over the last few days? Anything out of the ordinary?
Not terribly too many. We had don't get very many handsome guys like you in very much. I know we remember you if you ever came in before, but just your usual sailors and traders. The occasional rough type come in. I'll tell you what, we had. I guess there was only one thing that was a little weird, but we were happy to see him. A bunch of crews. This one vessel came in, and they had a lot of money with them. Normally, they don't have that much. And they're like massaging your arms and your back and your shoulders and your feet and stuff while they're doing this. Trying to get you relaxed. They're not just standing there talking. They're engaged in their profession while they do this.
Gisco's obviously making sure that he appears to them as he's enjoying it.
Mm. And of course they're rubbing your, six-pack abs, and they're just like, ooh, wow, never had a man so fit and strong, and they give me all kinds of compliments. And so they start talking about these sailors that came in that were buying some really high-class women that treated them nicely, didn't beat them too much or anything, but it just struck them as a little bit unusual that some sailors that had obviously not had a woman in quite some time came in with quite a bit flush with cash, quite a bit.
Hmm. What about any strange talk? Any rumors going around about these people? Any sort of strange conversations that may have been had between them and any
Well,
of the
you know,
girls?
they talk a lot downstairs. And they try to make sure to keep their mouths busy up here. But, you know, yeah, I really can't think of anything terribly different. Yeah, no, not really.
Oh, that's a shame. But listen, if you do happen to hear anything unusual, come find me and let me know.
Oh, you bet we will. You spend your whole time with them, or you just get up and leave?
Just to not so much safe, to keep up appearances. He'll
Okay.
stay with them the whole time.
All right. So Danelle, he spends about an hour up there with them. Does his manly duty with them. Uh,
Heretic, sinner.
he comes down. He's of course there's a vessel of water up there, so he washes up and come down. About 10 minutes later, the women come back down and start wandering the room again.
Okay. In the meantime, did I saw any strange aura or something?
No, not really. It's pretty much all just humans going about their nightly business, the pursuit of pleasure, food, drink, and women, or men, if that's your thing, because there are a couple of dudes.
Okay. When Gisco comes back, I will greet him. Gisco, my acolyte friend. This place might be not the correct one. We should look for. Maybe we should take a walk around the corners. Try to see if, somebody is trying to hide bluntly. Somewhat trying to give away its location, but also keeping low profile. Maybe they are hiding in the shadows, not in the crowds. For I see nothing.
Yusuke kind of as he walks back to Danielle, is walking rather confidently and a little bit, I guess.
Oh yeah, I
And he
mean,
nods. He nods at what Danielle just said and kind of agrees. And he looks around and he says, "Yeah, well, I kind of got a similar thing upstairs,
I bet.
But
I bet.
the only thing I was able to find out was that there were some people that came in the last few days, which had with them more money than usual. But aside from that, nothing out of the ordinary."
Well, bunch of people is probably not what we are looking for. But let's take this discussion outside.
Agreed. We're not going to find terribly much in here.
And as I said, you might have your fun for a quite time now, but watch your back. The daggers are not in the hands, they are in the smiles of men and kindred.
I always watch my back.
Then I guess we will take a look around this location, the Pearl, just looking at the corners, what is the word for it? You know, the
Around the outside of the building, the alleyways.
yeah, alleyway, dead end stuff like that.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be much of interest around the building itself. If the meeting already took place, it's been and gone. If it was not to take place, with the ships leaving, you might probably assume that the meeting already took place, or at least the time has come and gone.
Okay. We get that sense of instinct.
Yeah, it's the ships are getting ready to leave here in a couple hours, and
We suspect that.
yeah.
It's
Well, this seems like a waste of time, but at least we checked and made sure, my friend. Let's go back and meet with our friends. They are probably in the harbor doing their stuff.
So that's only a few minutes walk away. Like I said, both of these ships are within 5 minutes walk of the harbor and this brothel. So you make it back to your meeting point. Helion, we are back to you. Have you decided what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to look around, see if I can find anyone who looks like they might be. Actually, would ships around this time have anyone who's particularly meant to be good, emergency repairs?
Not really. There would be a facility in the harbor, and all the guys can do a little. A little patching, a little bit of putting tar and stuff on. But if there's a giant hole in the boat, they're kind of screwed.
Okay, well, then I guess just spend a few moments, not spending too much time on it, seeing if the captain is outside and if I can find him.
Captain is in his cabin. Or he's either in his cabin or off the ship, and you would make the assumption more reasonably he's in his cabin.
In that case, I'm going to keep an eye out, see if any of the sailors are a bit isolated from the other.
Yeah, you got a guy at the front, a guy at the back, and a guy at the gangplank, basically. Everybody else is probably below.
Keeping my obfuscate up, I'm going to approach one of the more isolated sailors.
So it's going to be the guy at the back on the water side.
Even as I approach, I want to activate presence twice, first awe and then entrancement. I want to give an impression of basically importance. That I'm sort of
you're a figure of authority.
I'm on official business here.
Mm-hmm.
So just make the charisma performance roll, I believe.
Yep. Charisma performance difficulty 7. Excellent.
It's an unlucky day for you.
Okay. Now for your other presence roll, because you don't know that you botched. You can't tell.
Which power was that? The first roll?
So presumably I look like the skeeziest skeezball to ever.
But you actually rendered your target immune to your presence. You just don't know it.
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to react however you want. Like, how is this guy resisting my presence? This is impossible.
Well, you know,
Like, what
who
the
knows,
hell,
maybe if I'm
man?
lucky, maybe if I'm lucky, I won't even need it. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm 6th generation, man. I'm thousands years old.
All right. So you have attempted to use your presence to assume an air of importance and authority. And then what?
And I would have gotten one success, but my good man, good sailor, I need to speak with you in private and of a matter of grave importance.
Well, there ain't many people back here, so he's doing so. He's basically taking a sounding every so often, throwing a rope with a rock on it, and then measuring how deep the water is.
Oh, at a glance, does it look like he's from Carthage, or is he from some other place?
At a glance, probably from somewhere else.
There is a grave matter that I need some discreet assistance with. You see, I've heard there's been talk going around of an attempt at foul play on this ship, of someone trying to sabotage the cabin of one of the important passengers you have. I need you to get the passenger out of his cabin for just a few moments, so that I can ensure that nothing is amiss. If too much attention is drawn to this, it could jeopardize everyone.
Sorry, man, I can't. Captain would literally flay the skin off my back. He would whip the skin off my back if I left my post. I can't.
I will talk to the captain, and I am willing to provide compensation to both yourself and the captain.
Well, go knock on his door, man. I can't. I just can't chance it, my friend. It's not worth it for me to go. You're just gonna have to go knock on his door.
Very well. Captain will turn around and continue, hiding his shock at just how ineffective his presence was. But yeah, and he will instead he'll head back down and, letting out a brief sigh, knock on the door of the captain's cabin.
What do you want?
I need a private meeting with the captain on a matter of grave importance to the city.
The door opens. A big guy with a beard, kind of a gut, standing there, and he goes, "Who let you on board my ship? And who are you?"
Just a second. I am Cafalo, and I was able to impress upon your crew just how important this is. If I may step inside for just a moment, sir, I will not take too much of your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna beat that damn goat sucking plank watch. Oh, I'll beat that dude until some sense gets into his head. Alright, you might as well come in. Yeah, it's too late now, you're already on board.
And I'm going to try again with presence, this time hopefully getting more of a success. Bloody hell!
That's just a
Well,
fail, though.
Yeah, it's just a fail.
At least it isn't a...
Thankfully.
Alright, well, you go in. His cabin is pretty cramped. It's got
Oh. Since it actually matters now, what's this guy's willpower for difficulty, or should I just roll and...
his willpower is going to be 5.
Peak of human potential.
Outstanding.
There you go.
My good captain, as I said earlier, I'm here on matters of state.
If you're here on state, you can show me the badge of office, right?
This is a matter that requires utmost discretion, sir. If anyone other than yourself and one or two of your sailors learned of this, it could be a disaster. We have received evidence of someone attempting to sabotage the chamber of one of your passengers. Without going too much into the boring details, if this is true, and if it isn't stopped, it could cause a major diplomatic incident from which no one would be left.
Sabotage how?
Quite simply, by damaging certain key points in the ship's structure. Now, I don't want to raise too much alarm, so I just need all I need is thus. I need for you to get the passenger out of his cabin for a short while I make sure that nothing is amiss, and if something is amiss, I can then contact the appropriate.
Manipulation subterfuge. Convince him. He's rolling 5
Alright,
dice to resist. Your difficulty's 5. The difficulty of his willpower.
Mhm. I'm gonna assume, because I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, that well-reasoned isn't gonna apply.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll make it apply, because I assume that you would be able to be a little more subtle and convincing about it if you were playing if your character had his stats, right?
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and make that apply. That is more successes than he is capable of rolling.
Wow.
He absolutely believes you. Like, holy shit. I gotta find out how they got on my boat. We can't. We're gonna leave. We don't have much time. We gotta do this now.
Of course.
Strides out of his cabin.
I'm going to hang back just a little so that when that guy leaves, he doesn't immediately see me and think something suspicious.
Well, in that case, he strides out. He's like, "Follow me. You're gonna want to." He's gonna probably want to see at least your badge or something. Knocks on the door. The guy opens it, and I'm going to move you over so you see his face. He looks like this. Guy opens the door. He's like, "What do you want, Captain?" The captain gives us a spiel. He's like, "Look, we have to inspect the reinforcements, the walls. We have to get down in a hold. I'm going to get a couple of my guys. We're going to check it out. But listen, there's this official is going to help us. How do you can you stay on board the deck? Can you secure your notes and stuff to make sure, and your gold? We'll make sure nothing happens to it." And the guy's like, all right, fine. He's looking around. He catches sight of you. Does not seem to recognize you, Hyaton.
That is good. But either way, though, this is getting more and more complicated. So
Yeah, takes a couple of things with him. Stands out on board the deck. The captain runs off, wakes a couple of sailors up. You start hearing activity from below as they're scrambling out of their hammocks and checking some supports and stuff. So the door is open. He's standing on board the deck. He's just kind of watching the door, but he's not blocking it or anything.
I'm going to like give a nod and step inside to do my own part of the inspection in air quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Which I am technically investigating on matters of state, so there is that.
All right, yeah, you head into his cabin.
Alright, so as I go in, I'm going to actually, he'd probably be able to peer through Obfuscate 1, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you know that he has aspects, so.
Alright, well,
And
first off, I'm going to glance around, see if he missed any papers that he was immediately taking up.
You find there's some bound volumes that are probably valuable, and he would definitely notice if they're missing. Some crated stuff, some small crates with a primitive locks on them. Basically just kind of like wired shut almost. They basic light-proofing materials to keep them safe out at sea. Things that you would personally carry on you if you were going on a sea voyage.
Of course. But all the only like texts on display are books. Yes.
Right, correct. If you look at them, you would love to own them, but they don't seem to be incriminating. They're not. It doesn't say a record of my spy notes from my time in Carthage.
all the naughty things I've done. .txt.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anything's incriminating is in this cabin, it's presumably in the locked crate.
Right. If it's in the cabin.
Indeed, it's possible that he took it out with him, or maybe he put it somewhere else. But I am going to first glancing back to make sure he isn't looking into the room.
I mean, if you kind of kick the door shut behind you, there's only so much you can do.
I'm going to try and just using the surroundings to make some sounds that make it look like I am legitimately performing an inspection, whilst in actuality trying to prise open the lock, trying to quietly open up the lock.
Yeah, so you're kind of kicking the walls and stomping a little bit, and rattling the bunk and everything. Checking the shutters, all that jazz. The shipboard equivalent of kicking the tires on your car, and pretending that you know how to check the oil. You know what I mean? The wire's just lead. You can nothing special to bend it and slide it open. There is one chest that is full of money, absolutely stuffed full of money.
Sadly, wealth is not proof of spying. It's just
proof of wealth.
It can be.
It's just proof of being a Ventru.
There is, in the other chests, there's some very carefully packaged writing material, ink, the quills for writing, styluses, some clothing, things like that.
If he looks at the money closely, does he see if it's Carthaginian gold or is it like gold of some other?
There are several denominations, several different stamps on the money.
Okay. Yeah, what's the likelihood that he's gonna be accounting for every single gold piece?
Very little.
Well, this is a long shot, but in case it works, I am going to, just to be absolutely sure, I'm going to take out one gold piece and replace it with one of my own.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna, because there don't seem to be any, there's writing materials but no actual notes already made, I'm going to try and, you know, move everything back together, leave it as I found it.
Do this is a perception plus investigation roll. Difficulty is going to be 8, but aspects will modify it if you're using heightened senses.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Furious expecting a no, Chris.
Not a botch,
Wow.
so...
You are out of luck tonight. You are definitely
Okay.
out of luck.
You have carefully examined the crates and you find nothing unusual about them. They just appear to be normal crates with normal stuff in them.
No. Once I've set everything back up, I'm going to walk out and just briefly make some... basically almost do a, asking some brief questions of the guy thing. And the questions that I'm asking him aren't really important. They're just to keep him occupied, basically. I want to use Sense of Sin on him.
Okay. You certainly have the ability to do that.
Now, if I remember, yeah, I'm pretty used to this power. It's
Perception plus empathy.
4. Yeah,
Difficulty is going to be 8.
4. Okay. And I'm pretty sure at least one of my insightful specialty probably.
Yes, this would definitely apply.
But nonetheless, shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Is 20 dice, I don't know, broken or something? This is more than anything.
All my luck went into those 2 rolls a bit up. All of it went into that entrancement and deception roll.
Apparently.
All right, yeah, you kind of touch him a little bit as you're talking, reach out and touch his hand a little, this and that. Give him your little spiel. He doesn't look like he's buying it. You sense this in and you come up blank.
Alright. Shift to Albina.
Okay. Albina.
Not Albina, sorry.
Alyssa, the merchant.
Oh no, we do shift to Albina, just back in row.
You are
Meanwhile, back in room.
on the shore. You said you're going to wait about an hour. It's been about an hour.
She done. Yeah, during that time she's going to start to look for the others to share the information that.
All right. About all of you guys meet up pretty much at the same time then. Alyssa, you understand it. It's getting to the point where you said you were going to be coming back. But it's been about an hour. You said you were going to go back and see the guy.
Yeah.
Can I take the... Oh wait, go on.
And so she's going to tell them about what she's found, about the captain not feeling well, about something keeping her out of his mind, about him mentioning how he did not remember his passenger, about the sound of flies flying in her room.
Oh, Sorry, out of character. Can it be assumed that after a while I also returned?
Yes, you guys are all meeting up together. You can all pass on all of your information.
Unfortunately, all I really have is a possible lead. It seems to not be my night tonight. But it's a long shot. I produce a gold coin. Danelle, could you examine this for any impressions?
Auspex, level 3, the spirit's touch.
Yeah.
Perception plus empathy.
Yeah, difficulty is varied, so you have.
Difficulty is going to be 9.
Okay.
Now,
I believe our specs 1 doesn't have.
No, it does not.
Okay. Oh wait, that was the bonus dice, not difficulty. Let me do it again. Oh shit! What the fuck? Okay, my screen just closed. What happened? Can Chris, can you make the roll for me, because something is wrong with my screen.
What do you have, 7 dice to make this roll? Ah, right.
Perception 5 and
Good enough.
what did I get?
1 success, and that is enough. You hold the coin, and in your mind, you see, you feel heat and dust, voices, and a hand grabs you, but it's cold, so much colder than the air and the heat of the coin pouch that you were in. And the impression you get is from the perspective of the coin. For you were in darkness, and then you were in the sunlight, and then you're in darkness again, and you are picked up by something wet and slimy. And again, just cold. Then it meets up, and you hear stuff. You hear voices. A crowd of voices. And that's where your vision ends.
I described this to others. The only sense I get out of this vision is that this was just the journey of this piece. But if you guys, if you acolytes interpret it in different, greater manner, then I am most happy to listen.
Disco kind of turns to Danielle. Tell me, did any of you mentioned voices. Did any of those voices perchance sound familiar?
Too weak of an impression to tell.
Okay.
However, there was a couple of odd details. Cold, slimy hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that one. Like, that's unusual.
On the one hand, it could be a Nosferatu. On the one hand, it could just be someone with a skin condition.
Here's a question then. The Nosferatu we captured, did we saw the kindred with our own eyes?
Yeah, you've seen him. But he was horribly tortured and maimed, so you're not going to get a lot out of that.
Yeah, even he looks like a mess even by Nosferatu standards when we saw.
Okay, here's what I suggest. Maybe, because but it is not a definite proof. Maybe if we can take another item from the other ship, we might judge the suspicious level between those two, and maybe scapegoat.
Perhaps. You mentioned, Alyssa, you mentioned that the sailors were talking about flies in Kabil's room, yes?
The captain, yes.
It out of character, is this like just known to is it this known to be an affliction Kabil has?
As an out of character statement, the Balai are aware of that there is a third group known as that follow the road of the Hive.
Hmm.
But it's also known, as I in the document I gave you guys, she is either a very low gen Malkavian or very low gen Balai. It's kind of either or. I'm not really sure which.
And the reason I ask mainly is even outside of that, some Bali just have the weird predilection towards attracting flies.
So, and that's a known thing for you guys. As for Ball, I know about it.
I was gonna say either that or someone has the Lord of the Flies floor.
So, how was that name pronounced actually? I was always assuming...
I would have said Sybil, but we have a Sybil the Nosferatu, and I didn't want to confuse the issue.
Not that name. My character's name.
The Ventru. Okay.
His full name is Balateon, but Hyaton for short.
So, Hyaton is going to consider for a moment, stroking that beard a little bit, and just say, if she is a Bali, as some of us, as many believe, then it wouldn't be too out of the ordinary for flies to be in her chambers. It's a strange thing that afflicts some members of our lineage. However, it is also possible that that might hint at something going on in there. It's hard to say.
If your suspicions are true and he is indeed a Balai, then we know that they are not committed to Carthage, then it means he's just... not to get offended, but he just probably spies everything. The chances are he's spying every side, whatever side, doing treacherous and stuff like that, and corrupting.
That makes her no less dangerous. That would make her no less dangerous to the city.
Indeed.
I think it would be worthwhile to investigate further with her.
I do know that we are not meant to destroy them, but I am sure that if the proofs happens to be found somewhere not that important, maybe it will be enough to burn the ships. But it is only the one solution from the many.
Sabotage will perhaps... An attempt at sabotage would probably be difficult for Gamaria's ship, given that I ended up putting them on alert for such, but such is the nature of things.
Understand. Well, they're in the ship. At least one of them is in the ship right now. But let's keep that option to later.
Possible, should we go ahead? The sabotage option, I believe, should be a trivial method to ensure that there is a crate of something flammable within the ship. I should be able to secure the transportation. Then we just need to find a way to make sure that there's something catches on fire once the ship is amidst the sea, far away from
You're to meet back up with the captain soon, yeah?
Yes.
if you could take myself and Danelle with you, we might be able to use our talents to glimpse something useful from.
I do believe we need Gisco still with us. It shouldn't be just three of us going to the ship.
True. In case things go to the worst case, after all.
Yes. And the Ventru, we know he's not very proficient at the fortitude they seem to have. Which means our powerful and dangerous friend Gisco can maybe, well, show his face under the ground. 5 feet, maybe more.
Gisco kind of grins at this, always happy to look for a fight, but obviously only if need be.
Just
But,
Just do not forget we have the stakes, so when it's necessary, going for the killing is less needed than the stakes.
Perhaps.
No, don't worry. I'm more than prepared to explore other avenues first, but if worse comes to worse, I would be more than obliged.
Okay, let's go to the ship then. The time is essence and we are losing it. Let's go to the ship.
Yes, we must make haste.
All right, you troop on over there. It's just a short little walk. You get back to the ship with Kai Beal on it.
I do tell them about the directions that the captain gave me to Siberius inside the ship, in case they need to separate and go for it.
Yep. All right. It's of read the aura of the captain. The captain has very strange aura, something you've never seen before. Comes across as, I guess, very ill would be the word for it.
Very ill.
Yes, it is not. It is a human aura. It is not ghoul. It's not vampire. But you've never seen an aura of a man quite so sick before. There's something terribly wrong with this guy.
I see.
I am going to attempt to sense us in and hopefully do a better job than last.
Okay. On the captain,
Yes.
it's gonna be +4, so we're gonna say 7.
And I would like to, as extra step, read his thoughts, not implement anything, just read. That does not,
Okay.
give
So
the
you're
chance
going to roll your telepathy to just scan his surface thoughts.
Yes. And
Okay.
if I do that, he can't know that, right?
No, he will not. He will not know what that.
Okay.
I would like to... Can I spend a willpower on this?
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Wow, wait.
Yeah, you're the...
Well, it isn't a botch because of that willpower.
That willpower.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else should roll for you.
All right. Danelle is going to be intelligence plus subterfuge, difficulty 4.
Okay. Intelligence subterfuge. Difficulty 4.
All right. With 5 successes, you delve deeply into his mind, and your first thing that you feel is he is getting drunk to dull the pain. He feels really sick. He is peeing blood. He's got some sort of infection on his back. To him, it feels like he's being eaten from the inside out. Is what it feels like to him.
Okay.
So a lot of his thoughts are pain. It hurts bad. But his other thoughts are about he must get the ship underway. He must not allow anything to stop this. And it's kind of weird as you're examining his thoughts. It's even affecting you, where you're like, there's somebody on board that's really important, but he can't quite remember who it is, and it like swims in and out of his deepest thoughts.
Uh-huh, I see. Do I see the suspicion in this not remembering thing?
You are acquainted with Obfuscate and Dominate and Demontation. And somebody has really, really done a number on this dude's head. Really done a bad number on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to approach the captain after Albina does his speech. Because, yeah, the thing I will do might, change some outcome. So I will wait till Albina speaks
Okay.
his matter.
All right. Alyssa, you are up.
She's just going to approach the captain and asking about how it's going, the unload with everything.
Oh, yeah, that. We've got the crates up on the deck before I crane them off here. He has somebody take a hammer and they open the pin and they open it up. And you can see where they've used, like, fibers to be primitive waterproofing around the seal. And there's some undyed, unprocessed silk fabric in there.
She's going to run her hands to the fabric and make a sure check if everything is okay, and then hand over the agreed amount of money over to.
Okay. He takes it. He kind of weighs it in his hand, checks it. Starts shouting orders. Hey, you get that rope. You get this. You get this. Put that pin back in it. Get it on the. And he turns and makes. He goes, now once it's on the dock, it's your responsibility, right? And we're done with it.
Of course.
All right. So men jump to it and start hooking things up. He goes, you've got. And he looks at the moon, looks at the water. I'd say about an hour. We got 40 minutes. 40 minutes to get this off. Better make it fast. Start shouting.
Are you done?
Is there any sort of way she can try to slow down the process? Perhaps subtly using her presence to get to distract some of the
Sure. Absolutely.
So yeah, going to try that.
Are you daunting who?
You go up to one of the sailors, putting the crate stuff back together, all that.
I'm back.
If you wanted to use your presence, you can make a roll for presence or dominate, what have you.
I think presence is the best here since it affects the more sailor.
Okay.
She's trying to be. Sorry, go ahead.
Presents?
Alyssa is a Ventru, and she does have presence.
Here's a question. How much success do I need in aspects to break through, dominate, and read the thoughts or memories?
Dominate cannot stop you from reading their thoughts. But you cannot read memories. You can only read their thoughts, what they're thinking.
What was the thing I need for this? I think there's another power for that, but
Do you? Here's a question, real quick. Do you have Demontation 3?
Yeah, I have.
Use that on him.
That's like a kind of power that I can surely do that, but it's also like a DM call to use it. This kind of strange plot discipline.
So
As long as I can two kindred use presence at the same time.
Oh, yes, they can. I see one success from Alyssa.
Yeah.
All?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking extra care because they perceive you as a person of importance.
Okay.
It slows them down a little, but they're kind of used to this. So, but you can tell they're doing their job well.
So I'm reading the discipline. It says, after all, perception enigma difficulty varies based on available information, blah blah, and vampire's familiarity with the situation.
Which one do you use?
But it is about patterns, strange, complex patterns. Is there even a strange, complex pattern in whatever we are doing right now?
There is.
Like event, maybe? Strange, complex event or pattern?
The power may only be used when scrutinizing a complex pattern or event, such as the intricate actions of vampire court or the clash of an army. Or the blood splatter from one's fingers or the spills of entrails. So you're observing the patterns of work, the buzzing of insects and moths, the slap of the waves against the hull. You're just relaxing and taking in all the stimuli, and it speaks to you. It tells you things. So, make your roll.
Okay. Perception enigmas.
It's going to be difficulty 7.
Okay. That's not bad. Okay.
2 successes. The player asks the storyteller a direct question about the situation at hand. It can be virtually anything related to hidden truths. So you can make 2 questions for me.
Okay. Those are only examples, or are they the only questions? Like
They are examples.
okay. Do I see connection to what is the third word? Desecration, something like that.
This,
Wait, maybe blasphemous is a better one. Sorry, I've just checked something. Yes, that's actually a good one. Do I sense blasphemous matter in this situation I'm in right now? Like the patterns, are they like, heretic-y?
yes, there is a blasphemy at work here.
Okay. And second is the second one is you know what? This is an important one, so I will use the example given here. What's the worst choice I could make?
The worst choice you could make, the absolute worst choice you could make, is to stop either one of these ships without solid proof that they are at fault.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Okay. That's it. So I like, when I open my eyes back, I look at the Hiaton and the others near me, and I say, what I suggested, like scapegoat, burning stuff. Yeah, do not do that. No matter what, do not do that. We need a solid proof, or this situation we are in will erupt into chaos, and it will only damage Carthage, our dream, than helping anyone other than these spies and these heretics.
Very well. Here's a question. Did you find anything else?
I mean, this thing here in this ship, on this ship, it smells like sin. It smells like something against God, something wicked, evil, something that could possibly mean the spies in this ship, or only the origin of this kindred, which, as you guessed, was Bali.
And let me clarify. That is a sin of blasphemy as filtered through the Malkavian's personal religion.
Okay, wait. It's
Okay.
okay. I have the road open here, so let me look at it. So in our case, it will be like someone helping, right? Because someone helping,
Well,
not allowing pain or stuff like that.
yeah, you believe in enlightenment through pain and suffering.
Right. So opposite of it, blasphemous version of it is not, suffering people.
It's either preventing suffering or suffering for no purpose or consequence, just suffering for suffering's sake. That proves nothing. That's blasphemous.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a couple different options here, but it's not suffering to learn or enlighten. There's no...
Right. Well, and you guys, I bet we are, know each other enough that you guys know how my character thinks. So when he says blasphemous, you will probably understand the blasphemous in his perspective on things.
Given the captain's situation, I would guess that it isn't entirely a lack of suffering. This could be very, very bad.
I will wait. I have manners to speak with this child of ours. You guys continue and give me some space while I explore into his emotions and mind.
Okay, but I think I need to see her quarters. If I could do that, then I suspect much would become clear. But how to get in there?
Well, I'll stay up here and keep the captain occupied.
Actually,
I'll try and see if I can find out any more information from here.
Gisco, can you please keep one eye on this room our, subject is sleeping or studying it right now? Just make sure he won't leave. And then I approach to the captain myself. I do not use any power while approaching. So, Captain, can I put my hand over your shoulder, if you may allow me?
I suppose, just be careful with those ropes over there. Yeah, so you can definitely put your hand on his shoulder. Well, he's...
Yeah, I gently do that, by the way. Nothing intimidating, nothing antagonizing. I'm using it friendly. And I try to walk a little bit to the one corner of the ship's back or something, looking at the sea, while talking.
You go by the rails. He resists moving far away from the scene of action. He's just keeping an eye on stuff.
So, Captain, I sense a great pain in you. Pain that is eating you inside, making you bleed, making you be devoured. I don't know how to...
Devoured
by alcohol to prevent it becoming more intense. I feel there are demons haunting you. Am I correct, Captain? Am I correct?
I mean, yeah, it hurts. It hurts like a bastard.
Tell me, Captain, when did it started? Do you remember?
Oh, about a week ago, maybe, a little over.
Was this particularly at a time when you had this, patron on your ship?
Who? I have somebody on my ship?
I mean, other than us, there is one. I blink at the Gisco when he says that.
Yeah.
There is. I saw somebody getting out of your ship. Maybe
Oh
you
yeah.
see it.
God, I don't know why I keep forgetting she's here, but yeah, yeah. Like, what's her face? The fly chick. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We were in port here when it started.
Mm. And when did she came? 1 week ago? 2 week ago?
No, 2 or 3, something like that. We picked her up in Tyre, and that's where we're dropping her back off.
I see. Well, Captain, and while I'm talking, how long has it been while I'm talking?
A couple minutes.
Nice. I would like to cast Incubus Humor on him, and I would like to increase his black bile melancholy. I
Okay.
believe a little bit more melancholy might make him speak like a more honest, or explain his stuff, share information, stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure.
So, that's my character's assumption and mine. Manipulation, empathy against the difficulty of target's willpower. 4 morsels.
That's going to be 4.
Manipulation.
Would enchantment help with that?
Would not actually.
Yeah. That's
Okay, so let's see what success means.
1 month.
Okay, 1 month. Okay.
For the next month, he finds it really hard to get excited or up about anything.
Congratulations, you've given a man depression for a month.
I mean, I'm kind of doing my road stuff too. While
Yeah.
introducing. So when this guy, starts becoming more melancholic, I'm like, so friend, I feel your suffering, my child. I know that feeling, and I can take it away from you. The suffering doesn't have to stay in your heart, stain your hard-earned bread and wine.
You got about an hour, maybe 2 tops, to take it away from me, because we're out of here in about that time.
Yes, my child. Listen, speak true to me. This pain inside you, has it been more intense over the moments when you speak with that woman, when you were closer to that woman? Has it been more efficient, we might say?
What woman?
The woman in your ship. Do you remember the woman?
Oh God, yeah. I don't know why I keep forgetting her. Yeah. She. No. It just gets worse every day, man. The only thing keeping it at bay is the wine. Oh, speaking of, he takes a drink.
I see.
Give to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all life's problems.
Well, Captain, I want you to close your eyes. I will bless you, and I will take the pain away from you, at least a little bit. Close your eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't take my eyes off these sailors for a minute, man. You just gonna have to do it with my eyes open. Really sucks.
Okay. I see. Well, then look at your sailors and give me a moment of privacy. I'm gonna take a opaque little tube or something, very tiny little tube, and I will actually want to drop few blood in that white inside that tube, and I just want to give it as fast as hastily as possible. Give the tube to the captain and make him drink it.
Okay. You actually end up having to put a whole point in it if you're doing what I think you're doing. A few drops doesn't do it. but
Yeah, one
yeah.
blood drop, yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah, he drinks it. He's like, "Oh, this is pretty good. I don't know what you put in it, but it tastes really nice."
It is the holy water. So, tell me now, does it make you remember stuff better? Do you remember the woman in your ship?
Who?
On your ship?
Who?
Your guess?
Oh, you don't remember.
Oh yeah, her. Shit. I don't know why I keep forgetting her. I don't know. She's just a passenger, man. I don't know why you keep talking about her.
Okay. You continue your thing, Captain. I think this is the best blessing I can do for you. But if you come to our temple before leaving, maybe I can give you much better solution to your
Yeah,
problem.
I ain't gonna have time for that. But I appreciate you coming by. It's nice of you.
Okay.
All right. So who else is doing what?
So, I really do want to try and cast enchantment on him.
Okay, go for it.
So, did you say his
It is appearance plus empathy.
yeah? Did you say his willpower was 5?
4.
Or I think it was 4.
Yep.
See, I thought about using ore, but then I realized Gisco doesn't have any performance.
Entrancement. Appearance empathy. Difficulty 4.
Okay, hold on.
Very nice. For 1 month, he is entranced to you. He has gone from watching his sailors to looking at Gizco.
Okay. Gisco turns and well, he's also looking, but he sort of stares into his eyes and he's going, "Oh, look, I realise that you don't have a lot of time and that you need to leave quickly. Look, can you tell me why you're leaving so quickly?"
I have to. This when the tide comes in and I can get out of here. We got a lot of money to make.
What I need to ask about.
I got we're offloading these silks. I got enough room if you want to come with me.
Well, listen. How much do you know about your guest,
Who?
the passenger you keep forgetting about?
Oh, got her. I don't know why I keep forgetting about her. I don't know. Not much, man. We brought her. She came on board at Tyre, and we're taking her back. She keeps to herself mostly.
Is there nothing else you can recall?
Flies. All the time. Flies. Buzzing of flies. All the time.
What about your cargo? What can you tell me about what you're transporting?
Got a bunch of wine down there. A little bit more silk. We just sold off a bunch of it. Wish I had time to get more. Some spices. A few other things here and there. Got a complete inventory in my cabin.
Does any of it belong to your guest?
Not really. She got most of her stuff in her room with her. I think she has some clothes or something down there, maybe.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to come with me? Man, you'd make a hell of a sailor. I'd make you my first mate and everything. I don't know if I'm gonna make the next voyage. I just feel so bad. It just hurts. You know, I'm gonna need somebody to take over for me.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I might have to decline on this occasion.
Well, okay.
Maybe next time. Actually, yeah, Dreadgates would do. So, out of character, I just read what Dennis posted. Like, Dreadgates would certainly do that. I mean, if you want to try that.
Try? Fear, frenzy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could try and lure him away. I mean, I've got him entranced.
I have the power to right now fear slowly all of them and run away from the ship. But it's like if we want, like if we are willing to do it as a group.
Okay. I'll tell you what, guys. I think now's a good time to take a short break. We're gonna break for until the top of the hour, so that's about 7 minutes from now. Then we'll come back. I give you a little time to think about your next steps, make some coffee or what have you, and we'll resume then. All right, welcome back from break. What have you guys decided?
I think we should we should interrogate one sailor after dragging sailor into a corner.
Alyssa, you'd be able to try and draw out Kabil to, allegedly to discuss political matters with her?
Elisa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
So yeah, she's going to ask to be taken over to her quarter. Or someone to bring her. Actually, she's going to ask someone to bring her over to her. To tell her that she likes to speak, stuff like that.
Okay, and they're going to give you the usual runaround. Who? Oh yeah, her. I forgot about her. Sure. They walk you over to her quarters.
Would it be possible to try to convince her to come outside to speak to her, have her go into her?
The sailor's like, look, we were told not to disturb her, so if you want to knock on her door and talk to her, that's all on you.
Okay.
In the meantime,
And throughout all this, Hayatan is taking care to stick to the background.
In the meantime, can we drag a sailor outside the ship towards a more private place, and with Gisco, can we begin interrogating?
You can try.
Sure. You can enchant. If you use that power on one of the sailors, it might be helpful. Enchanting or enchantment or whatever.
Entrancement.
Entrancement. Yes. Yeah. Entrance one of the sailors to follow you. I'm sure it will be easy with that power.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we don't want to do that with the captain, because she's already got the captain entranced.
Yeah, captain is...
He's already got the captain entranced. God, I'm speaking like I'm role-playing Labiena at the moment.
The captain is... he wasn't very helpful. So maybe he's not remembering stuff. The sailor might be like better target at the moment. So let's try our chance while Albina's character is doing his stuff.
Yes, well, we can give that a shot. I'm in character, by the way. Alright. Which one shall we pick?
One closer to... The one sailor closer to his chamber, maybe? It's just random pick.
Gisco kind of looks around and points. That one?
Sure. That works. That one works.
Alright. Gizko walks over to them. Kind of looks them in the eye. Excuse me, can we, speak to you, possibly on the dock for a moment?
Are you going to make an entrancement roll on him?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and do that. Your difficulty is 3.
Okay.
But he's going to get a chance to resist this. Not the
As I
power
suspect-
itself. He's going to resist your request.
Okay. So I
mean,
presume I know why.
If he successfully resists, at least you can like get your hand over the shoulder and start dragging him with your high strength and post.
You can see that there is a internal struggle, and eventually your entrancement wins. He's like, yeah, I guess, but look, you can't keep me too long, man. I gotta get back on board the ship quick.
Yeah, I promise you this won't take long at all.
Yeah.
All right,
Follow.
We will have you back in no time.
You go hide behind a couple of crates on the dock. The crates that just got offloaded, actually.
So, Gisco,
So-
I think you should be the one asking questions, but start with the deal with this woman inside the cabin, the patron. Start asking questions about that.
Yeah, okay, so Gizbo, kind of looks at him dead in the eye. Okay, listen. What can you tell me about the guest aboard your ship? Tell
What
me
guest?
everything you know.
We have a guest.
I believe their name is Kybel.
Oh shit, yeah, her. God. So forgettable. Not much, man. She keeps to herself.
Read his thoughts in the meantime,
If it-
while
I'll say this, man. If it wasn't for the flies around her all the time, she's pretty good looking. God, so many flies. Such a turnoff. I mean, I got low standards, but come on. Yeah, you gotta have some.
Have you had a chance to see? Have you had a chance to look inside her quarters at all?
Not really. I mean, she was pretty generous with the pay. She gave us enough money to go hang out at the Pearl. Great brothel. If you haven't been there, highly recommend it.
I was there recently, so I know what you're talking about.
Uh, See, she keeps to herself mostly, hangs out in the cabin. She must play games with those flies or something. She's always reading, too. Always got something in her hand. But, I don't know, when we pulled into port, she was gone for most of it. She came back night before last night. She came back at some point during the night, and she hasn't been left her cabin since I've been up.
ask if she went to the Pearl. Ask if she went to Pearl tonight, this night.
Do you happen to know if she had, since during her visit, has ever visited the Pearl herself?
Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't been keeping track of her, but yeah, somebody would know those flies if she was there. It's kind of a big giveaway.
Mm.
I think
You said she'd been reading. Have you noticed what kinds of things she was reading?
I can't
What
read.
kind of texts they were?
I don't know how to read. I just know she was reading.
Were they big books, small books?
I don't know. They were books. They were
Scrolls?
scrolls, paper, stuff with the black scribbles on it.
Okay.
Okay, Gisco. I think we got everything we could from this kind. And I think I know who's the spy. Of course, that's only my theory, but I think we can let him go into his work.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your help. You're free to go.
Okay, I gotta go back to work.
Yeah.
But you should come hang out with us sometime.
Oh. Thank you. That's kind of you.
He takes off back on the ship and gets back to work.
Gisco, you heard the sailor. While they do not tend to remember this individual, that's definitely a power. That's supernatural stuff there, but excluding that, these bugs, the flies around, this definitely will be a giveaway for recognizing this. I can't pronounce it. To see that particular kindred in the pearl. I'm sure she didn't left the ship this night, which means she probably did not think place. Which means the possibilities are other kindred is the spy, not this one. Because
Well, if you recall, I didn't. Well, the women I spoke to didn't notice anything out of the ordinary in the last few nights.
yeah, maybe
Plus,
we should.
they encountered people with a lot of money.
Right. Maybe we should go to the other ship right now. We probably do not have to go back to this ship. There's already some of the coterie there. Let's go and check the other ship. Speak with other sailors. Maybe they know if this kindred has, went outside tonight. Maybe this is the Venture. This is the Venture's ship.
Venture, yeah.
Maybe this Malkavian, this ship tonight, compared to, the Venture or the Bali. And keep your steak ready.
Oh, I won't need my steak, trust me. But,
Okay, let's go.
Alright, well, looks like we're off to the other ship.
You gonna grab the other guys?
Well, I mean,
to interrogate one more sailor, the other ship sailor, like asking very fast if this, or we don't even need to interrogate him. We just want to ask if this kindred has left the ship tonight. That's the only question I am wondering about.
So you two guys take off for the other ship, leaving Hyaton and Alyssa on board Kybel's ship.
Yes.
So Hyaton and Alyssa, you are basically left alone. What are you guys doing?
So I was just like, Alyssa, if you could knock on her door, convince her to come out on deck to speak, while giving me time to sneak in, that would be most appreciated.
I shall try, but she seems to be very dedicated with the remaining.
True.
If not, I should be able to provide her distraction if you are able to obfuscate. Though she is known for having a remarkable aspect.
Indeed. I would be hesitant to try my luck there.
Shall we go ahead? Shall I go to her?
I will stay out. I will stay out of sight to avoid arousing any suspicion. So yeah, as Alyssa goes there, I'm gonna just find somewhere, somewhere that I can not immediately be noticed.
Okay, you walk up to her door.
Do I hear the buzzing of the flies within?
That's going to be a hearing-based perception plus alertness roll. Auspex modifiers as appropriate, difficulty 6. You do indeed hear flies, buzzing of wings and stuff behind the door.
I'm going to, would I be able to get to perhaps get some of the nice pieces of the silk with me, bringing them along as a gift for her?
Sure, you can. One of the crates can be open. You slice some off, no problem.
Guys, hello?
Yeah,
Someone-
I'm waiting on Alyssa.
Oh no! I asked if I could bring along some of the nice cuts of silk with me as a gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I'm going to knock on her door then.
Okay. The door opens. What you see is a small room. There is a sphere of some kind hanging from the ceiling in a net. And this lady
Really, that's disgusting.
is standing there with a book in her hand, bound in some sort of leather, a small lamp. Everything else looks to be crated up for sea.
Elisa is going to give a respectful bow, and she's going to extend the silk in her hands for. Well, I hope I am not interrupting, but there is something I like to. If you are not too busy, that would like to speak to you.
She takes the silk and she goes, "For me?"
Of course.
Make a sight-based perception plus awareness roll. Auspex applies. It's going to be difficulty 7. It's very small.
Presumably, I'm too far away to notice.
Yes, you are. All right. This could be a trick of the light. With only one success, you're not sure. But you could almost... It looks like her skin pulses and maggots emerge from the pores in her skin and climb onto the silk. And then she folds it with the maggots in it and then puts it away. That could be a trick of the light. Well, you don't know.
You mentioned that there was some form of orb in the ceiling.
Yeah, it's like some sort of leather orb of some kind. About the size of a baseball or softball.
Would I be able to try to recognize?
You need to examine it very closely.
May I come inside?
If you like.
So she's going to step inside and say, I was hoping perhaps we could she's going to step inside closer to her and she's
Flies
going
and
to,
stuff are beginning to land on you already.
she ignores it as she offers a hug or some form of embrace, something, try to present a friendly greeting to her.
As you get really close to her, you'd swear the flies are going in and out of her ears.
She ignores all of that.
You start getting closer to her, and she looks at you and she goes, "Are you sure?"
Shouldn't I?
I don't use dementation very much, so I gotta look it up.
Instrumentation. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? Oh, it's the crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the. That's not the.
Well, as
oh,
characters, there's some other stuff going on, but yeah.
you know.
All right. What is your perception plus self-control or instinct?
It is
Voice cut. Cut down.
8.
To 8F1. Ah, Jesus. We'll just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, nothing happens.
Wow, there's too many ones.
Yes! The bad luck isn't just afflicting me.
All right. She allows you to hug her, and oh god, it's disgusting. You feel stuff under her clothes moving.
Elisa tries to ignore it, tries to act like everything is normal.
That's going to be a. We're going to say willpower roll. Act casual. So suppress the flinch. That's willpower. Straight up willpower, diff 6. Awesome. Yeah, you hug her and it's like, oh god, this is nasty. But you still hug her.
She's then going to grab her hand and try to say, perhaps you'd like to speak on the deck. I have something to show you that I'd like to do.
Well, why don't you lead the way then?
She leads the way.
Stuff is landing on you and biting you.
Oh shit.
It's like the biting of flies.
And
Just like,
how you get
ow,
sick.
ow.
She tries to ignore it.
If you've ever been bit
March
by a deer fly or something, that's what it feels like.
March flies.
Yep.
They're the ones that bite.
Oh, give it to
Also,
her.
have been bitten by them. It's
Yeah,
not
me
fun.
too.
Maybe gadflies.
Horse flies, we call them, the big ones. Ugh. Those things sting like a bastard. All right.
They're probably the same fly.
Yeah, she shuts the door behind her, and you hear the buzzing immediately cuts down as flies begin to fly out into the night air. And she makes her way on board the deck. She kind of looks around. In the dark, if you can't see the flies and the insects, she actually looks pretty good. And as soon as you get close, it just ruins. Everything gets ruined. So she walks up to Hyatin with Alyssa leading the way. You notice the sailors give her a wide berth. They don't get close.
I'm just like, I'm not necessarily out on deck, I'm just like somewhere that I won't be seen.
She sees you.
Okay.
That would require a stealth roll.
She takes her over to and shows her the crate that she bought and says, I was hoping that perhaps I could make usage of this ship to transport some of my own goods over to Thai. I understand that's where you are going, is that correct?
Yes, that's where we're going.
But the captain seems very adamant in departing on a very tight timetable. I was hoping perhaps it would be possible for me to convince you to allow that to be more flexible. I would of course be willing to make up for this.
I think not. The captain's such a dear. Such a good feast. Such an obedient feast.
As they're talking, Jurgen's gonna try his best to sneak out of sight and down into the.
Okay. You do. You sneak down there. You
No
open the
roll
door.
Needed? No roll needed.
Nope. Don't worry about it. She either knows or she doesn't. But she doesn't stop you.
Suspicious. Okay, so I open the door.
Yep. What you see is her cot and her daylight proofing materials. You see a leather-bound book and a orb of some kind, a leather orb suspended from the ceiling in some sort of net.
I'm going to first off try and take a close look at the orb.
Okay. The orb, as I said, is made of leather. It's got some sort of lines on it. Something, I don't know, to the untrained eye, it looks like just scribbles. Do you have anything like navigation or land history, anything like that? Sailing?
Don't have any specific skills
Okay.
in that.
So that's going to be wits plus enigmas then, at difficulty 8. Okay. It's weird and it's interesting, but you can't make anything out of it.
Out of character, it's just a globe, isn't it?
Of a sort, yeah.
I'm going to try and make as best a note of what it's like to explain to someone else later, and then turn my attention to the journal or leather-bound tome or what.
Do you touch it?
First, I'm going to take a look, see if there's anything suspicious about it immediately. Does it?
It is bound in some sort of leather with some sort of stain or ink on it. It is very, very well done, very skillfully done. Gold accents, stuff like that.
Nothing that immediately looks occult, I'm assuming.
It looks very occultish.
Well, I mean in terms of other than the book, any hints of wards or some shit?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, I'm going to carefully reach out and first just touch the skin of the book with a bare hand.
Make a willpower roll, please. Difficulty 6. Current willpower.
Okay. Diff 6, did you say?
Yes, I did. Okay. Excellent. You feel the urge to open it immediately, but you suppress it. You pick it up and you just examine it. Now people will pick up a book and just start flipping through it right away. That's what you felt like doing, but you're like, no, I'm going to examine it first.
Yeah. So, with further examination, like maybe turning it around a few times, does it anything else seem apparent?
It is leather, of course. It looks like the design is not painted on. It's like part of the actual leather on the cover. Some sort of geometric pattern. It is framed, like edged in gold, and it is bound with some sort of pin, possibly cold iron.
Interesting. Okay. So, because first off, gonna hold the book in front of me, turning my face away for a minute, opening it to a page without looking immediately. Does anything happen?
Nothing happens.
Alright, I am going to, perhaps letting curiosity take over good judgment, look at the page I opened
Okay.
on.
That is a willpower roll, difficulty 8 of your current willpower.
Resist? Is it to resist?
Uh-oh.
Nice. Okay. Daemonian, level 4.
You're not disappointing. Daemonian.
Yes.
Is that even a thing?
You are essentially driven immediately to confront your worst and greatest fear. It automatically succeeds because of the botch. Whatever his greatest fear is becomes made manifest in the room with you.
You know what? For thematic elements, let's say it's the slightest doubt that he might be on the wrong side that terrifies him.
Abstract? Can it be abstract?
Yes, so you feel it is that fear made concrete, made real, physically real to you.
So perhaps
Wrong.
So perhaps him undeniably fallen.
Yes, you feel that you are undeniably in the wrong. That God's mercy is real. That what you are doing is a direct violation of the natural order. That he has a plan for humans, and everything you are doing is only making it worse on people. And you feel that made concrete. It's like the vision of Abraham when an angel appeared and told him to sacrifice his son as a test of faith. You feel that instantly that you have failed that test. What would your reaction be in such a case if you were just like soul-shatteringly wrong and it was just instantly clear to you? How would you react? You might fall over catatonic. You might run screaming. You might flail at your face and rip furrows in your skin. Jump off the ship. Really, this is a time for something for Hyatin to really get into. He is broke. For this instant, this few moments where this power is in effect, he is a broken man.
I think for a while he'll just be like standing there, not even sure what to think. Just absolutely stunned.
So you basically drop into catatonia then. Just kind of sit there and twitch as you contemplate the deepest recesses of your mind.
Or curled up in a ball on the floor.
Completely defenseless. You can do nothing. You can say nothing. You are just overwhelmed in agony at the mental stress of this revelation. So, Alyssa, you're on your own. As, sorry. I have to mute for a second.
What happened?
I'm laughing too hard to talk. Okay. It's not funny, but it's incredibly funny. All right. Alyssa, you're on your own. Hyatin disappears into the room, and The door shuts.
Existential crisis.
And she just stands there talking with you like nothing's wrong. Like she has not a care in the world.
She keeps on talking with her. She's going to take the opportunity that was mentioned about the captain to try to change the subject. And she's going to. She mentioned that the captain is quite a feast.
Oh yes, he is providing quite the host. He'll never believe you, of course. He'll chalk it up to peeing problems or something. And she smiles this really disturbing smile. Just visceral disturbing.
I have no reason to deprive you of your meal. If anything, I find myself curious. He's quite a sick on the. I wonder, does this affect his day?
It does not affect his use or his skills. It keeps him sharp on his feet. He'll last long enough. I'll make sure of it.
And if, if I may ask, what is would you be the cause of?
Me? Why, I would never eat a man from the inside out, but my good friends, and she holds her hand out, and from under the rustles of her clothes, a couple of spiders come out. My good friends do need to eat. Sustenance is required. Then they crawl back inside. As you look at her face, a maggot comes out from underneath one of her eyelids, crawls across her eye, and then goes back inside.
Doesn't this affect his taste when you?
Say that again?
She's asking if that affects the taste of his blood.
Oh, I have not fed off of him, and I will not. I'm sure it would if anybody cared to taste.
May I?
Oh, no, unfortunately I need him at full strength for the voyage. Cannot afford to let him be weakened by forces outside of my command. But next time we talk, I'll be more than happy to bring somebody with me and allow you to experiment.
That is very kind of you. Very talk. Have you enjoyed the city while you stayed in it? Has it been able to offer you everything that?
Oh, yes. Brother Moloch is quite the accommodating host.
You spoke with the father.
Of course I spoke with him. I spoke with Moloch. I spoke with many of the people. Observed rituals. Talked with the mortal rulers. Such things are expected of me.
How so?
When one visits a Cainite of Moloch and Troil's eminence, such duties are expected of visitors. They are polite to be allowed to show off their achievements.
Can I detect any trace of reprobation or anything on her voice? Anything that might give away distaste for the city? Or
it's pretty obvious that she doesn't think much of Moloch. That's kind of obvious in her tone of voice. But that doesn't mean she's a spy. It just means she doesn't like Moloch.
To be fair, a lot of people don't like Moloch.
Yeah.
Well, should you ever find yourself again in the city, I'll be happy to provide you with a place to stay and any guidance around it that you might require.
No. I suppose you should go meet up with your other friends. I believe they're waiting for you at Gamaria's ship. Oh, you might want to scrape your friend off of my floor. Hyatin seems to have succumbed to a crisis of self-confidence.
She's not even all that surprised at this after hearing how skilled she is with aspects. She just smiles and says, how long have you known?
I knew when you came on board, but I have hidden nothing. You saw my cabin. I have no secrets there. Oh, let me rephrase that. What knowledge I have there is there if you're willing to pay the price. And then she again smiles that creepy, predatory, nasty smile of, yeah, maybe that's a little too much for right now.
And that is the price that the knowledge takes.
For the weak-minded, it's sanity. For those of strong minds, you would call it unusual insight. It's nothing you must pay me, that's for sure. Would you like to attempt it?
Fucking hell. I'm going to do a self-control check on this. To see if she's going to take it or not.
Mm-hmm. It's 6.
Yeah, just barely.
Maybe some other night.
You also realize if I had to lose my sanity now, that would be troublesome for me and my coterie. Maybe some other night. Maybe when you return.
Well, she snaps her fingers, and one of the sailors comes running up, and she goes, do scrape Hyatin off of my decking, please, and do not damage my book. But do not touch it either. Hyatin, you're coming out of your stupor when a door opens, and a sailor picks you up and helps you stagger onto the deck. You're coming out of the momentary loss of confidence. It's just like, how would you be feeling after that?
Conflicted. Very conflicted.
Kybal goes back to her room and shuts the door, leaving you alone on the deck with Melissa.
She looks over to Hayaton. I assume that you paid the price that she was talking about.
I do not know what you speak, but the orb that was in there, it had some strange scribblings on, and then there was a book. I examined it. It appeared some kind of occult thing, and give me a moment, please.
true.
What do you think? What time is it? How long till the ships leave?
About an hour, a little over.
Let's go check on the others, I suppose.
Alright.
And
So they're making their way down. Gisco and Danelle, you guys, in the few moments walk, made it to the other ship just fine. You make it over there, and now what?
I guess the first thing we're gonna do is make it onto the deck.
One of the
I'm
sailors.
just realizing Denise has muted himself. Not sure if he's AFK or not.
Okay. I forgot that I was muted.
Yeah.
I was speaking
Alright.
to Air for the last couple of minutes. Hey, Yusuko, as I said, buff your physical might and speed and stuff like that. Ready. I'm whispering this to his ear, very, very silent as much as possible. Yeah.
Of course, Kizgo kind of does the same. Says, yeah, I'm always ready. I reckon
So
we
I'm
should
gonna
both.
spend some blood on buffing. Just in case. I'm gonna spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, I will spend 11 blood points to get my strength and dexterity to maximum number of circles in the ship.
Okay. So you max out your physical stats. You can do that.
Yeah,
Not
doesn't say
necessarily maximum, but yeah.
you're up to your is Danelle 6th gen?
Sorry.
Is Danelle 6th gen?
5th.
5th, okay. So you could go up to what, 7 or 8 dots?
8.
5th gen can go up to max plus 1. Max is 8 dots, so they can actually go up to 9.
Yeah, I can go up to 9, but I went to 8. Yeah, I have 8 in my dexterity and strength right now. Okay.
So I mean I can go
So-
up to 7.
Yeah, but you have also the
Should-
potence and celerity, which means we are pretty
Yeah.
good.
Potent celerity and fortitude.
Yeah. So
So, but they would only require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots for me to max out.
we go to the deck. I presume.
Okay. Yeah, you get onto the ship. No problem there. Well, you're at the ship, actually. The ship is, of course, getting ready to make sail. Everything is locked up. There is still a gangplank that, going from the dock to the ship. But there is a sailor standing watch. So there's 3 sailors on the deck, it's pretty standard. 1 at the gangplank, 1 at the front, 1 at the back.
Okay. Let's see. I have to check something. The power, blah blah. Hunting the. Okay. Oof. So sailors have weapons,
Belt knives.
belt lines. Okay.
That's fine.
So we have 1 hour 13 minutes. I thought we had like 15 minutes or something. We have much more than that.
Pretty cool.
So I guess we can ask some questions to sailors then, because we have some hours, 1 hour left. Hey, why won't you
We still should-
entrance?
Try and
Sorry?
discover what we can as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Why won't you entrance one of the sailors and ask if this person has left the ship, tonight?
Oh, why don't we just go and ask to talk to Gomaria?
But
Gomaria.
you see, but if you speak with him and if he sees you, he will be, defense up, ready. It's better if you don't do that. I can speak with him. I can speak with him, and you can stay outside the ship on the harbor, so he don't see you. And depending on the conclusion, I might come to you, or he might do some stuff, Malkavian stuff to me. But then it's my all night here and embraces the Malkavian stuff.
Why? I could be the perfect backup.
I mean, he can affect you too, but if you are not in his presence, it will be much harder to affect you.
Well, I mean, I can just stay out of sight somewhere on the deck.
Alright, you can do that. You can definitely do that.
Yeah, somewhere where I can, at least hear if anything goes
Okay.
wrong.
Okay,
And then
let's
come
do that
running.
then. Let's do that. You go to the second floor of the deck, so you will be on top of his chamber, but he won't see you.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. And try to be. He will probably hear, but try to be as much as
Wait, say
your
again?
decks. He might hear, but try to be still.
You're breaking up really bad there.
You're all roboty.
Okay. Is it better if I speak a little loud? I don't know.
Let me try to switch servers, but everybody else is super clear. Just you, Dennis.
Yeah. Okay,
Mm.
so
Okay, let's try that again.
he might hear your footsteps.
All right, that's clear. Okay,
Yeah, he might
Stealth.
hear your footsteps, but you're a dexterous person, so you might still stealth successfully enough. So maybe you should go like quietly on the second, I don't know, floor of the deck. I don't know what it's called, like the second stage or whatever.
Second level?
Yeah, like the captains, where the captains stand.
well they're both across from the hallway at each other, basically.
Yeah.
The
But not
room
necessarily
and
captain.
the captain's room.
Well, like essentially you can like stay on the roof of the chamber the kindred is sleeping in, so he won't see you because you will be behind him and also above him. Yeah.
So he wants you to stay on board the deck and then just basically punch down through the floorboards.
I mean, punching doesn't necessarily have to come to that point, but like, because the idea is Gisco stands in the deck, but he stands out of the sight from the Malkavian. So we need to find that location,
You
which
mean
is
the Ventry?
Yes, you can find that location. It's there.
okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, let's do that. You stay in the deck, but hidden from the Malkavian.
Okay.
And I just go knock the door, I guess.
Okay, first you have to get on board the ship.
Right.
There's a sailor standing guard at the gangplank to keep unwanted people from getting on board.
Okay.
Well,
So
I guess
we are
try.
unwanted.
I guess we would be. I mean, we can try approaching him. See what he says.
Right.
Use your entrancement. It helps.
Mm. I was gonna say that'll be the plan. So, all right. Well,
Okay, go on. You go up the gangplank. Sailor challenges you. Halt! Hey, look, I can't let you on. We just had a state visitor here already, and I need to make sure nobody else comes on board and interferes with what just happened.
Oh, I love it when plans backfire.
No, well, I haven't tried casting enchantment yet.
Do entrancement. I believe that's appearance plus empathy. His willpower is 3.
You get entrancement. You get entrancement. Everyone gets entrancement.
Entrancement is such a lovely
Right.
power.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean, it works, right? It works. Why not use it?
Okay. You activate entrancement, and then what?
Get the fuck
You
out.
go. We just trying to think of you know.
We are the friends of Captain.
Look, we won't take too much of your time. Like, we won't take too much time. We know you don't. We know you need to leave fairly soon, but we just need to speak with your passenger.
Okay.
In a
Look, man, just
separate matter.
keep it quiet. Don't get me in trouble, all right? I promise don't get me in trouble. And don't disturb the captain. All right? He will slug the hide off my back. All right? You got
No
About-
promise.
35 minutes, and you got to be off.
It won't
Nope.
even take that.
All right? He lets you on board.
He'll flog the hide off my back, and this time he won't stick it back on.
Pretty much.
So we are on the deck.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So you take your place, and I slowly approach afterwards to the door of this guy's room.
Yep.
And
So
I
he's going.
gently,
Sets up in the
and I gently knock on the door.
place we discussed.
What do you want?
I have to speak with the person of interest in this ship.
He opens the door. What do you want?
Right, I didn't thought this for wait. Oh, what the hell? Are you the shit, his name was
Gamaria.
Gamaria, okay. Are you the Gamaria?
Yes, and who are you? You're not one of the sailors.
No, I'm not.
Who are
My
you?
name is my name is Daniel, the priest of
Carthage.
mother. I don't know the mother. Priest of the mother. I don't know which priest I am. The priest
Lilith,
of what?
priest of Lilith.
Priest. I'm the priest of Lilith, Daniel.
He just has no blisters. Close his door.
He stares at you for a second. Oh, you're one of Moloch's men. I get it.
I mean, the mother is beyond him, but you can also say that.
Well, he goes back into his little cabin, and he takes a seat. Notably, there is no other chairs in here, and he does not invite you in.
Mm-hmm.
He picks up his sheaf of papers, and he closes it. He says, we have half an hour to an hour, so spit it out, and my ship is taking off.
Well, I just wanted to ask about the kindred in the other ship. I presume you know her.
Kaipio is quite famous. Yes, I know her.
Well, considering both of your ship has been in the harbor for quite a time, we were just wondering if you've seen her, you know, with some kindreds for the couple of nights, including this one.
I've seen her talking to Moloch and Troil.
Other kindreds? Oops.
Possibly.
Like a Nosferatu?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not her babysitter.
Sorry, I'm coming. Okay. So here's the question then. And I'm going to actually. I want to read his thoughts while speaking. I'm gonna read his thoughts.
But you have to spend a willpower to read a vampire's thoughts. So spend a willpower point.
Okay, no problem. Intelligence support was difficulty. Academic
Difficulty is
experience-
7. His current
Okay.
willpower is 7. Because he
Okay.
read yours.
This infantry 7 here. Okay.
Okay, you are reading his thoughts.
Okay, what do I get?
Ask me 5 questions.
Ooh, okay. Let's see.
And I will tell you if he's thinking of them.
Okay, did he... how to say it? What's the word for it? Shit. Excuse the lack of my English now.
You
know
may
this,
pluck out 1 piece of surface detail per success your player rolled. So what's the question you asked him? Trying to get him to think.
Right. Well, first I want to get like, you know, when the word of the went through comes out of my mouth, I want to read like his thought, his whatever came up first in his
For
imagination,
Kaibil.
in his thoughts.
You're asking about Kaibil or asking about the Nosferatu?
The Kabil.
Okay.
Kabil.
Disgust. He is disgusted by her. You mention her name, and all he sees is filth and nastiness.
To be fair, that is a rather understandable reaction.
Going a little bit deeper, he is actually frightened of her. She is quite fucking scary, as you have just found out. And she was being nice. You have 3 other details left to pluck.
Okay.
He has not been off the ship all night. That's a surface detail you'd get.
He.
Yes, he, because you're reading his mind.
Right.
Yep.
He is okay. Sorry. He has not been outside of the map. Okay. And what does his surface thoughts are when I say mention the Nosferatu and mention if he see this went through out tonight, like because there was a meeting tonight. So when I mentioned tonight, what is his surface thoughts?
He hasn't been off the ship tonight. He has been gone nowhere.
Right. But he doesn't. Okay.
He doesn't know anything about any meeting.
Right.
Also, to clarify, because it might be a bit confusing. So this is something that I only know out of character. Kaibil is Bali and Malkavian both. So just to clear that up a little bit out of character.
Oh,
I think I know what you mean.
Okay.
It depends on who you're talking about, because it could be 2 people, it could be 1 person that have intentionally kept that messed up.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, he does not know about any meetings tonight.
Okay.
And he is eager to get back to Alexandria.
Okay. But what about when I mentioned like a Nosferatu? Like, did he
Not
become
much.
like
There's not really much in his head about meeting a Nosferatu or really much of anything else. He has not, his entire time in Carthage, he has not spent any time with Nosferatu. As far as you know via Auspex.
Okay. 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 For the next thing, I would like to. Okay.
And remember, this is what he does. Maybe even he doesn't know it was a Nosferatu. You got to think of that.
Right. I feel like soul hunting will not help in any way in this situation we're in right now. I feel like that's not helpful.
You never know. I mean, yeah, I wonder if it'd help. And
Okay.
asking them what their business is in Carthage.
So the
Seeing
keepers of...
if there's any other surface thoughts attached to that. I don't know. Just an idea.
Okay. So, this. So while I'm still reading his mind, right?
Nope, you have full. You're gonna have to use the power again.
Okay, I understand. I understand. So, well, it seems like the kindred in the other ship is not of importance in a manner we thought it to be, based from your comments. But I thank you for your cooperative stance. I'm sorry for taking your time, and I will leave now. You can forfeit into your chamber. Wait, is that the correct word? Forfeit? I don't know. No, this is the wrong word. Okay, you can go back to your chamber. I will say go back to your chamber. Totally different.
Do see yourself off the ship, please, and please do not trip on your way out. I would hate to leave you. I would hate to leave Carthage on such a negative note.
Yeah, and I have been speaking more than 3 turns at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay, before leaving, because I left now, I don't have much to talk anymore. I would like to cast my Dementation tool. I'd try to at least use my Dementation tool on him, because I've been talking enough time now. Manipulation, empathy, difficulty of his victim's perception plus self-control instinct.
Okay.
And success determines the time.
9.
9. Okay. Can I spend willpower?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Manipulation, empathy. It's not my greatest dice pool. 9. Maybe. Okay, that's 1 success. So that's 1
Okay.
night of visions, which is enough for us. So yeah, I guess he will see the type of visions which you choose, I believe.
Yeah, you have no idea how well or if it succeeded at all. So.
Right. So when he closes the door, of course I will be heading towards the exit of the ship, but I will be like nodding at Gisco.
Yeah. At this point, obviously, Gisco will quietly make his way with Danielle.
Okay. Yeah, you
guess I'll
creep
be heading
away
off the
from
ship.
the off the ship. No problem. By now, Alyssa and Hyton have now met up with you guys.
Mhm.
You guys meet up at the on the dock next to his ship.
Okay, so my suggestion is he is the spy, and I think we should, either enter his chamber through force or stake him or something like that.
Who are you speaking of right now, just to be clear?
I'm speaking of the kindred in this ship, the Ventro, the
Gemaria.
man. Yeah.
What makes you think that?
I mean, we asked the question to the sailor, and he seemed like this guy wasn't off the ship. This woman wasn't off the ship. The bug woman, the bug woman.
No, the other way around.
Yeah. He wasn't off the ship.
Yeah, he never left the ship.
Yeah.
Kybiel, no one really knows what Kybiel's been doing.
Well, he mentioned something about talking to Moloch and Troil, if I recall.
mentioned that she has some secret knowledge on her chambers that should not oppose anyone that wish to find it, but
Right. Okay.
but it takes a toll on one's mind. Hayaton would certainly be able to personally tell you about.
Look,
So
this is
here's the thing. I left this one. I left this one. A gift. Visions. This might help us. Those might distract him, and it might be helpful if I succeeded. I don't know if it succeeded, but if it did, this might distract him a little bit while we,
So-
try to stake him.
Before we even consider that, as much as I would enjoy that, were you guys able to learn anything about Kaibil?
Yes.
she is absolutely of my line, of similar line to me. Similar at least, if not the same. She has some sort of orb in her chamber that has some strange markings I wasn't able to make out, and that tome she has in her chamber, there is something wrong with it.
Wrong? How so?
I would Look, all that matters is that it had the stench of dark magic around it. Darker than something even many of my cousins would delve into.
Hmm.
Okay, so we have to pick one option. This will be a gamble.
What we really need to be doing is consolidating everything we know so far
We know nothing.
and seeing where we can go from there.
We know nothing. We know that one of them, both of them, has not left the ship tonight. We know
Do we know that about Kaibil though? We know that about
the sailors said it. You weren't with us. The sailors said she never left the ship. Neither he had never left the ship, because I read his thoughts.
No, you read the thoughts of the
That is-
other one. Okay, out of character,
Yeah.
Dennis, you seem to have gone a bit confused. You talked to Gamaria, and we talked to Kaibil.
Right, and we
Kaibil.
talked with the sailors in the Sibyl's ship. I will say Sibyl. We
Kaibil.
talked with
Kaibil.
Kaibil. Yeah, we talked with the sailors in the Kaibil's ship and interrogated using the entrancement. Then the sailors said she never left the ship tonight. Okay, and then we went to the
They
ship,
both never did. Not that
and,
night.
yeah,
but
and Chris
other nights they
wrote
did.
that too in the chat. Look at the Chris. Neither one left the ship this night. He wrote it too.
But they did leave the
Well-
ship on other nights.
Okay, so perhaps one of whichever one's a spy, learned that we had captured their patriot. Now, the thing is, Kaibil clearly has some sort of technique that lets her some sort of influence over the sailors on her ship.
Hmm.
I believe that if one of them is a spy, it is her.
Question is why she has them under her thrall like that.
He's too weird to be spy. You would think a spy tries to keep a low profile to not get eyes on him or herself, but
I mean, if it wasn't if it wasn't for interrogating that Nosferatu friend, we wouldn't have even considered looking into.
Or either of them, for that matter.
The Nosferatu are weird themselves, and yet they are used as spies all the time. We are vampires. What is weird is flexible. What is weird is what goes unnoticed.
I think Tyre is our ally. Macedonia, on the other hand, is much more unreliable city, state.
If nothing else, we can always the followers to go to the ship and ask to have a look at the book of hers. She said that should not stop anyone that desire to do. That she was not hiding.
I would not recommend doing so. But if you insist, I will not stop you.
I was going to say, if I may, from what you've described about Kybeel, it sounds like she, well, given how open she is for people to even look at her stuff, she acts as though she has nothing to hide.
And she seems very confident about it too. So maybe we don't even have the power to stop her. Maybe she is indeed not a spy.
Or maybe it's a bluff.
I mean,
It is a possibility.
so we have to gamble at this point. We have 1 hour and we are not that close to actually learning anything useful.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah, we still need to find unequivocal evidence that one or the other is the spy. The problem is we need to figure out where to look for this evidence.
I mean, we have Gisco, okay? If it's, ambush him in some way, maybe Gisco can stake him and then we can, I don't know, we can risk not providing a solid proof, but if we guess correct, then maybe it won't be that bad for us.
Well, also, maybe it's just me, but I would tend to think about what information this spy was collecting in the first place. I mean, from what we've heard, out of character, I understand that we have been told that they were collecting the information regarding the sacrifices at the well, things like that.
Yeah, resting places, defensive stuff, all that kind of stuff. Probably wouldn't be that big a deal to like army intelligence, but for vampires of Rome, that might be enough to change some opinions on finishing Carthage off.
It provides a casus belli and
So, I vote we send either a runner to our patron to capture the kindred in this ship, and I mean the Ventru, or if majority wants the woman to be captured, then we do that.
I think we may need to try and interrogate Kybeel more directly, and if we fail, then, well, oh dear.
But given what you've already told us, how do we go about doing that? I mean, I'm more than happy to try and intimidate her, but she sounds pretty powerful.
Okay. Well, I mean, We have to do something. We are losing time.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Gisco, grab a stake and follow me. Danielle, you also follow behind. Gisco, as soon as we see Kybil, I want you to stake her as fast as you can. Understood?
Understood. Tell you what might be better is give Danielle the stake and I will grapple.
No. You stay. You stay. If there is a grapple needed, we will grapple her. You will stay. You have the potence, you have the celerity, you are the Bruja, not us, okay? We don't stake, you stay. We don't throw the punch, you throw the punch. We only hold the person.
If you insist, but I think if strength and brawl is required, I'm the man.
You have the
What
power.
was you wish?
You have the power to put that stake into its heart, okay? With enough force, enough might. We don't have it. We can only buff our strength and try to grapple her.
Oh, I suppose I should ask before we begin. Danelle, is your how much of your will do you have left?
Decent. I'm not tired yet. I'm not tired.
Okay. Then we should be able to make this work. Oh boy. In fact, well, here's a question. Do we want to risk going onto the ship to attack, or risk drawing her out with summon?
Can you summon? I mean,
Well,
she can resist. She can resist the summon.
I can summon her, but if she's as powerful as she seems, I believe that she'll be able to resist.
Yeah.
Well then,
Maybe, but
us going forward, it sounds like.
What are you
it'd be
saying?
easier for her to run if we summon her rather than trying to do it aboard the ship.
Okay, we're losing more time. I think we just need to do this.
Yeah, let's go to the ship. Let's go to the ship.
Let's just do it.
Let me
Let's
buff
go.
my.
Bring it on.
Okay, you make your way back to the ship.
I'm going to just sort of basically be doing the whole thing of if anyone tries to stop us on our way, just like on our way, we got important business.
Yeah, you are going to have to make a roll to get past the guards, the sailors, because it's close enough to sailing time that nobody else has any business on board the ship.
All right. Could I make a charisma intimidation?
Yes, you could.
Now I'm down one dice, of course, and up one bit.
By the way, we have the ability to actually summon like soldiers.
All right, it's going to be a base difficulty of 4, so that's going to be up at least 5.
Mm.
That fails, I've always got in trance.
I think if that fails, they might go alert.
Yeah, that's more successes than they can roll. All right, you
No entrancement needed.
frighten the hell out of them, and they back off like, oh shit, and you storm onto the ship.
These go fellows.
We're gonna get wrecked.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be out of character. We're headed for Disaster Town, right?
Well, just about that time, so I don't know what. Let's do this.
And
we are going ahead with the attacking her plan.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I guess.
So, just gonna say, Gisco, open the door and go straight for her.
No.
Don't even.
No,
Alright.
I open the door. We don't risk Gisco, okay? He's the strong one. If there will be one who is mesmerized, it will be me. Gisco has to stand behind us and rush afterwards.
She's going to be expecting this. Indeed, I bet she already knows that we
Well, Gizko is ready with the stake in hand, and he's
Fine, I'll
like,
open the
let
door.
me at her.
Hayaton opens the door.
Don't forget to use blood point for the celerity and potent.
Yeah, and as
I
I
believe
do
he's already
so,
buff.
as I do so, I'm going to knock six blood into Dex.
also going to be putting I'm going to be putting 3 blood into my dex.
I actually can't represent that much dexterity on the sheet. Okay, I'll put 5 blood into my Dex then.
Into my stamina.
Gizko's put 2 in strength, 3 in dex, and 2 in stamina, which means he's 7 dots in all 3.
You know,
Okay.
with like celerity, you won't worry about difficulty. That's why you should use blood point to help with the potence and celerity to stake her.
So,
Yeah, well, he's got that.
just write down your dex and wits totals. I'm not even going to roll initiative. So just put it down on the
Okay.
roll 20 sheet for me so I can tell who's going when.
So, of course, that's...
Just dex plus
after
wits
prior
totals.
to buff,
Whatever.
isn't it?
No, after. And
After.
remember to include celerity if you have celerity dice.
Oh, yes, celerity as well. Wow.
Yeah, I have celerity. That's why you're the monster.
Yeah, that's a pretty big dice pool.
I mean, that's why I'm telling you to use like.
I was
when
gonna say,
you
I'm
go
about
for
to
the
post
stake.
the total of his dex and celerity.
Nice. Okay. So, Hyacinth, you are opening the door, you said.
Yep.
You storm up to the cabin. You rip open the door.
You realise she's probably going to see us coming.
Oh, almost certainly. That's why this is going to be such a disaster.
What is your current willpower?
Current willpower is 5.
And I'm behind him. Behind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 successes to use the Sword of Malkav on you.
What's that? What's that?
It's a dementation power that's pretty damn nasty, if I remember
The
correctly.
Malkavian must speak one truth she knows the victim believes, and then wraps that truth and warps it and seeks a replacement. If successful, the victim's belief, perceptions, and understandings shift in order to facilitate the falsehood. You believe it unconditionally. It becomes a piece of your very being while the power lasts. This lasts for multiple years.
Okay,
dear.
nice. What's the deal? I didn't understand really. Wait,
So,
is he
Hyacinth rips open the cabin door, comes face to face with her, and she stares at him and she says, "You believe that your coterie is your friend. They are using you as a sacrifice to kill you. You should do something about that."
Oh no.
Okay, ignore. Wait, Gisco, ignore our coterie member. Go for the Ventru. Go for the market.
All right. So, Hyacinth, what are you doing? You turn around. Now, Gisco, you are actually first. You're in combat rounds. What are you going to hold your action or just kind of hang back or what?
Go for the stake.
I was going to say he's probably just going to go straight back and try and stake her in the heart. Straight up.
Go for it. Go roll. Spend blood point for the celerity. Spend blood
Okay,
point for
so
the potence.
first you have to get to her, which fortunately, I believe you have strength to do between potence and strength.
Oh yeah.
And you literally punch through the planks on this cabin, and you just like put your fist through it and grab it, and you just rip a couple of planks out of the way, and you spend your turn with celerity just slamming, and you actually create a hole in solid wood planking. Wood chips flying everywhere, big chunks of wood go flying. You just like, Hulk smash through the wall.
Pretty much.
Nice. And stick or not? Stick
All right. Hyatin, they're using you as a sacrifice. What do you plan to do about that?
Okay.
Am I
First,
not first?
to make a decision on this, I'm gonna roll a 1d3.
Oh no. There's Elisa. My mistake.
So, Alyssa is 1, Danelle is 2, and Gizko is 3.
Oh boy.
Alyssa!
Oof.
I have 11 too, by the way. I have 8.
I know,
plus
you're
3.
next. You're next.
Alright, I am going to use the nasty power. Daimonen 3, putting 8 blood points into it.
Uh-oh.
This is honestly though, it's actually probably Alyssa's actually probably the best target for it because she actually has fortitude in clan.
Yeah. What's that power, by the way? So
It most commonly manifests as a bolt of black fire. It's basically an attack.
is it going to harm?
magic thing.
It's hellfire.
Like
It's hellfire. He's
Is
throwing
it
a
like
fireball made of hellfire.
Is it like erupting everywhere, or is it just like
Just on one person. Theoretically, it can be things other than hellfire, but we'll say it's hellfire for convenient.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess everyone's going to make a rush check after this.
I think only the target actually needs to make the check. Let me just- So, dexterity plus occult to attack.
Okay, maybe your luck leaves the room and you roll shitty again.
And the difficulty of the attack roll, I believe, is +1, so 7.
And remember your -1 dice, so...
Yeah.
2 successes. Okay.
Is Alyssa going to attempt to dodge this sudden bolt of fire from a maddened coterie member?
Yep, you do get a choice to dodge or just take it.
I'm going to split my dice to dodge and still take an action after.
Okay. So it is, your first action is at -1 dice and +1 difficulty. So you are rolling dexterity plus athletics at difficulty 7 to dodge.
Nice. Okay, cool. Just 2 successes. You can do it. Oof.
Well,
Okay.
at least I don't get as many damage dice here.
How much damage dice do you get?
So I'm gonna be. I think
You spent 8
yeah,
blood on it, so that
Yep,
means
so
8 dice.
Means insta kill.
not necessarily, because I could botch this damage roll, and even if I don't, Alyssa might actually be able to soak.
Is damage dice -1 too, or is it
No,
normal?
damage dice are damage dice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay. And okay.
Alright, soak 3.
And you're going to spend
Alyssa?
to automatically.
Fortitude only.
Yes, I'm going to use my blood point to auto soak with my
Awesome.
fortitude.
Alright, and now roll courage at difficulty 8.
You can do it. I believe in you,
Thanks so
Ventru.
much, Shrek
I
Mom.
believe in you. Come on, Ventru. You can do it.
You are in fear frenzy.
So imagine I try to make my way out of the ship, out of the.
Yeah, you're out of here.
So Gisco couldn't stake her, right? Because
Not yet.
Well,
It's
Danelle, you get a you get a action. You have not yet
Yeah.
taken an action.
yeah, going to stake. I'm going to stake Hiaton.
All right. Dexterity plus melee. Difficulty 9.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 1 willpower.
Okay.
Dexterity, melee, difficulty 9. And there's 2 success in my part.
Nice. Very good. Roll damage. Strength plus 6 extra dice. Strength
Sorry,
plus
how
potence plus 6 extra dice.
Okay, I have no potence, so only strength plus 6. Okay, strength plus 6, difficulty 6. Wow. Wow.
It hasn't popped up on my screen yet.
I got
Not enough to stake him. Well, you still got to soak damage, Hyaton.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
Stamina.
soaking damage.
Stamina plus armor plus fortitude.
it's not
You have no
showing up for
armor,
me.
so
Yeah.
How many
Now I
successes?
believe. Does the soak roll take the penalty?
no, it does not, because it's just your body. All right.
See what happens when-
You need I believe 2 successes to stake, 2 damage to stake.
Okay.
All right. Well, he takes it. New action. I'm gonna let Gisco go first. Gisco, what you got?
Fuck out of her.
Well, I think that's the thing. He's gonna go straight for the staking action.
Okay. You got any? You gonna use celerity or just gonna use it for your dex?
You
I think I'll use
spend-
celerity as well.
Okay.
You can use blood point to automatically succeed equal to your celerity dot.
What it is
That's certainly for potent.
you use a blood point to take celerity. Use celerity. You can use celerity in one of 2 ways. It either adds to your dex pool, or it adds to extra actions. It's one or the other, not both. So,
What was the first one? Sorry.
so
Like,
it will either increase your dexterity or it gives you extra actions for each dot of celerity that you have. So you can spend 1 blood point and then use 1 extra action and 2 celerity and 2 dex. You can spend 2 blood points and have 2 extra actions and 1 dex, or you can spend 3 blood points and have 3 extra actions and no extra dex.
Yeah.
Or like when you roll dexterity plus melee plus celerity, you can either spend the 1 blood point.
No, it doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that.
But-
So,
he-
Well,
how many extra actions do you want?
I'm thinking just to be on the safe side, maybe take 3.
Okay.
No, and take
So-
the
To do-
rest
So the way celerity works, according to the book, half of your extra actions can be offensive. So 2 of your extra actions can be stake attempts, and 1 must be a dodge of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Are you going
Okay.
to
Can I
selection?
save that third one, like the dodge action for later if needed?
Okay, and that's good. To know you cannot do multiple actions and celerity. It's either or.
I thought you were going to use 1 blood point to automatically succeed on the celerity.
You can't. 1 blood point does not give automatic success on celerity.
That's only for potence and fortitude.
Oh, okay. That's strange. Okay, that's nice.
Okay, so you have you are taking 3 extra actions. You have no extra dice to your celerity or to your dex. So if you have celerity 3, I think that gives you a dex of you have to look at your dex. I don't know. So dexterity plus melee. Go ahead.
So, with the extra blood I pumped into it,
Difficulty
so
is
what's the
9.
difficulty for the 9?
9.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, you can spend PowerPoint too.
And I assume you're going to spend a blood point to make Potent's automatic success on damage.
Oh yeah, I can definitely do that. So that means I've spent 3 already, right?
And you can spend 1
Damage
willpower
action.
point.
Alright, so Dex plus melee. And diff 9.
Oh, come on, let's go. Do your Bruja stuff. Impress us.
Oh, wait.
I am so nervous. So fucking nervous. Nervous as fuck.
So that hits.
Why is
See
it
if she gets a
I
dodge
think
action.
I think the dices are just too big to just instantly show up.
I don't know why it's not showing up immediately on my screen. It's weird.
Probably
Yeah, it's
You're
not
lucky.
ideal.
it's showing for me
And how much success did you get?
2.
Nice. Do you have a specialty in melee?
Not melee.
Like, do you have 4
but
dice?
I
in
do
melee?
in dexterity, which is quick reflexes.
Yeah, that's not going to work for this one.
No, like
What about your strength?
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah.
Strength plus
Right.
6. You said you had 2 successes, so that makes it strength plus 6.
Okay.
And you said you're spending blood to make Potent's automatic.
Yeah, she said.
So go ahead.
So what's your?
so does that mean I add potence to that as well?
No, you tell me what it is with the total.
Well,
I think you have potence of 4, right? So whatever you roll and then add 4.
Also, so you have to go beyond that, if you roll lucky enough.
And
what's the difficulty for this roll?
6.
Let's just hope we don't accidentally kill her, because that would just be even. That would.
Oh wow.
And there's +4 to that, so that's actually 12.
12.
Yeah, you stake the head ever living fuck out of her.
Let's see if she soaks enough to not die.
No, I'm not even rolling soak. She stakes ever living fuck out of her.
The
Yeah.
problem is, we do still have a mad barley on the ship.
The stake explodes out of her chest, just from the back straight to the front, just boom all the way through. Solid hit. She instantly slumps down. But you would swear she's still laughing behind her eyes.
Some vampire. Is she ashed? Did she turn into ash?
No, you just staked her.
No,
Oh, okay. She's not
she's
dead.
just paralyzed.
Okay, nice. I guess we continue the fight because we still have another ally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But does she have multiple actions?
Well,
Gisco?
Well, Hyacinth gets an action, and then Danelle gets an action, and then Gisco gets 2 more actions.
Okay.
Technically 3 more, because he gets a dodge too. So
okay.
Yeah,
One is Danelle, and 2 is Gisco, my man.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Yeah, here you go.
And at this point, Hayaton is remarkably. Most of the time you've seen Hayaton, he's been one of those composed types. Enough has happened tonight that's all gone.
Can I waste my action mid shielding Gisco, like throwing myself in front of her? Of him.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your roll first, Hyacinth.
I
And
will
then
take the initial.
Yep.
Because
So what is Hyaton doing, by the way? I'm
throwing hellfire at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Same action.
beginning to go into a full rant about how everything he believed was a lie.
And for 3 years? What? For how many years? I don't know.
For multiple
To be honest-
years.
To be honest, listening
Yeah.
to that, Gisco might, be at
Oh,
risk of frenzying
That
himself.
dice penalty just saved you. Oh my god, that
Gotta
extra
remember he's a
penalty
Bruja.
of
What did you say, Chris?
making it diff 7 instead of diff 6 just saved you. If that was diff 6, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, you have a dodge action, don't you? And then also, Danelle...
So Danelle is using his action to leap in front of it. Danelle,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
dexterity plus athletics, difficulty 7.
Difficulty 8.
8.
Dexterity, athletics, which is 0, so I don't even need to roll. Add that to the dice pool. Difficulty 8. I have still high dexterity, but 0 success.
Alright, you try to leap in front of it, and you completely miss the ball of fire that flies over your head.
I'm just miserable.
Right.
I'm just like,
Danelle, or Gisco, you do have a dodge action if you so choose to use it.
Well, obviously I'm going. Wait.
okay,
Well,
your
I would
he
say
will
just
try and
do
take it, I suppose.
you do your dexterity athletic.
Dex athletics, diff 6, dodge.
You can stake him too. You can stake him too.
Yeah, I suppose that would be a parry. I don't know if I can parry.
You
something
cannot
like
parry this.
It will be dodge. It doesn't really matter,
that. So
right?
dodge them, but I get 2
Mhm.
extra actions. So
Yes, you do. You get 2 more after
them
this.
possible.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's at the end of everyone's normal initial
Wow,
turn.
wait, this is going to be a big dice pool. Because obviously I can't use celerity for this because I've already used it, haven't I?
Correct.
For the actions.
Though, I will note, presumably this will result in the fire hitting a bit of wood.
Ah, what's
So-
that? What's
so-
the problem?
Oh yeah, the
What was the
ship's on fire. 6 to dodge.
I can be wrong, but
Sorry,
I think
6?
that fire.
Yes, 6.
I think that the fire from dementation does not actually spread.
Oh, that
Yeah.
might actually be a thing.
It actually does spread. It becomes real fire.
Oh boy.
You dodge. It hits. You also still need to roll courage at difficulty 8.
Oh yeah, true. So
And
thankfully I think-
isn't it because you're brutal, or is it just for self-control?
So obviously this is something I can't spend willpower on.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
It's,
Yeah, you
it's
can spend
only
willpower
ra-
on it.
it's only rage frenzy that you can't
Yeah.
spend willpower.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, I might actually spend
Oh,
one
that's
on
right.
willpower.
All frenzy rolls are +2, isn't it? So diff 10.
Definitely spending a willpower.
Didn't you say diff 8 initially?
It's diff 8 per the book, but bruise and penalty puts it up to 10.
But wait, he doesn't have a penalty?
Bruise your penalty puts it to 10.
Oh, Bruja. Oh, yeah, Bruja penalty. Shit.
Yeah, the weakness.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about the Bruja penalty because I've never played a Bruja before.
I mean, it's been pretty
Alright,
badass so
so-
far. I like the idea of
One will-
being a juggernaut and well.
Failure.
Oh, you
Simple
see?
failure. You are in fear frenzy and you are out of here.
Wonderful.
Oh shit.
It's all on you,
Okay.
Daniel. Good luck.
What's Hyacinth's blood pool looking like?
25. No.
Yeah, it's less than that. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're
yeah,
a 5th gen, aren't
15.
you?
It's
Yeah.
15 now, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit more and you're going to be start rolling for hunger.
Yeah.
Isn't it half when you roll for?
Hyacinth and Danelle, you guys act at the same time. What are you doing?
Right. I guess I will go for the stick. I'm not going
Okay.
to kill.
You are prone on the ground. You're going to have to do multiple actions to get up.
Okay. Sure. I will get up and then, or
Alright.
try to get up and then try to stake.
All right,
Or-
Hyacinth, what are you doing?
Does the question really need to be asked?
Okay. So, Danelle, what you're going to be doing is you're going to roll Dexterity plus Athletics at difficulty 8 to get up and dodge at the same time. So it's going to be diff 9 while he's throwing fire at you.
Okay. So difficulty 8, you said?
Diff 9, because you have no
9.
athletics. And then add 1, so that makes it difficulty 10, because
Okay.
you are doing multiple actions.
Okay, no problem. Oof. Ah, I get 1 success. Woohoo! At least I get up. Now I might be ashed, but I get up.
All right. He hits you for 3 extra successes, Danelle, so it's going to be roll your damage plus 3 extra successes, Hyaton.
Oof. At least I will not live in this madness anymore. Release my spirit, old friend.
Actually, just skip that. Danelle, you're on fire. You will leap off the ship in fear frenzy. Hyaton.
Sorry, audio cut out for a bit. What happened?
Danelle's on fire. He leaps off the ship in fear frenzy. Hyaton, do you remove the stake or do you just leave?
She doesn't have to. She's just became she's just changed the sight on us.
I think I need to make a hunger frenzy now, actually. But I suppose running out. If assuming not. Should I make the check?
Sure, go for it.
What's your hunger? What's your blood? I think what? You spend 8.
This is penalized by the roll. By the penalty.
Yes, it is.
Base diff of 8. Did you say?
Hunger is base diff 6.
Okay, so then difficulty 7. All right, I don't drink the fly corpse, which is probably for the best. Yeah, I'm gonna be running out of the ship.
Okay. You guys all leave, leaving behind a ship that is slowly catching fire, and you hear the bells ringing. Fire people are coming running, starting to throw buckets of water on it, trying to put it out. Oh wow! On that note, that brings tonight's session to an end.
And I'm just gonna make it known for the record. Whatever happens, Hyaton's probably not gonna live through much longer.
Well, anybody who says mental disciplines are weak does not know how to use them. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this is a thing that, Jesus Christ, even if they don't execute him, he might just be so ashamed as to end himself at this.
I want to.
Leave himself out for the sunrise.
I want to say whatever happened tonight, it benefits our real country, so we don't have to feel sad. We should...
Also, I'm curious now, which one was actually the spy?
Okay.
So,
I am going to stop. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to stop the recording. For everybody listening on YouTube, all 8 or 9 of you, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week when we're back in Rome.